Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon. The high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you tonight to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Tonight, we are at Blue Line Iceplex, more familiarly known as East Grand. Oh, I'm sorry, not that. We were just over there. My bad. More, let's say, familiarly known as Eagles Arena, right, Ryan? Is that what we're looking for at that point?
It's Eagles Arena. Appreciate the sponsorship dollars to change the name, but it's Eagles in my heart forever.
The former Red River standout. Former state champion. No, current. Always a state champion.
I don't know on standout, but
at Grand Forks.
Some of that was true.
Some of that was true, yeah. Obviously loving Eagles Arena. Tonight we're at Blue Line Iceplex as Grand Forks Red River gets set to take on West Fargo Cheyenne in our latest coverage of high school sports here on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. And we're pleased to have you along with us tonight. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz, Cooper Freege. We'll have our videography work that's coming up a little bit later on tonight as we bring you our live coverage of this event here this evening. And what we're looking for should be a pretty good test tonight for both Grand Forks Red River and West Fargo Cheyenne. We've been talking about this matchup throughout the course of the year and what it might mean coming up into tonight's matchup. And obviously we've seen a little bit of that happen already so far in this 2025-26 campaign. And so now we'll see whether or not it's going to come to fruition tonight. So we get ready for what should be, Ryan, a pretty good matchup between these two. You mentioned earlier this year that you kind of felt like this West Fargo Cheyenne team, don't sleep on them. They could be a team that gradually improves throughout the course of the year. They've got enough momentum to work with to get started at the beginning of the year, and they could be a team to contend with in the Eastern Dakota Conference.
Yeah, there's a couple factors with West Fargo Cheyenne that I'm really curious about now. There's some names on this roster that we recognize. Bennett Benson is back. It's his third year as a junior now. Charlie Yesebo on the point. There's some familiar names up and down this roster, but if you look at their top couple lines, you'll see sophomore Wyatt Matson, you'll see sophomore Taylor Zandler, you'll see sophomore Avon Bredvik. So a lot of their top players are younger guys. So if those sophomores can continue to develop throughout the year, adjust to the high school game with some bigger, stronger players, this is a team that I think can do some damage. And on top of that, as I've said in other broadcasts, Bruce Patrick, in my opinion, Cheyenne's goalie, he is one of the top goalies in the state. He is, again, a sophomore, so we'll see how he adjusts, but he's an incredibly talented goalie. I'm expecting big things from him. This is a scary team, this Cheyenne team.
Meanwhile, folks, Grand Forks Red River comes into this one after a 7-0 win over West Fargo, and we talk about it later in our pregame report, tonight with Tim Scarperud. But, Ryan, it's one thing to say West Fargo is rebuilding, and maybe not exactly the team that they were last year, and they're looking to find some options. But when Coach Scarperud says it's the most complete game that we played, they put 7 on the board and they worked the shutout. And yes, another big night for Caden Ulmer, but 3 additional players scored their first goals of the year. That means that Red River had a nice momentum game on Tuesday after the loss to East Grand Forks.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Red River needed. Now, we saw them play Roseau in the first game, and 4-3 win, so they got the win, but probably could have had 3 or 4 more goals. We saw them play East Side 5-2 loss. Probably could have had 2 or 3 more goals. So to go to West Fargo and have a game where you put up 7, I mean, sometimes, Ryan, when you're struggling to score, just seeing the puck go off of your stick and into the net, just that can kind of trigger, something and like you said, build some momentum, build some confidence moving early in the season.
And so tonight we'll see a couple of lineup changes for Grand Forks Red River. Stetson Brown scored his first goal down at West Fargo. He's jumped up onto the first line. I think that the move between him and Cale Gruenberg will probably give both lines some additional options. Cale Gruenberg playing on the second line tonight. He'll be a factor going out on line 2. Great skater. Stetson Brown benefits from playing with Griffin Hoganson. and also Caden Ulmer. And so in the long run, might be a balance change for Grand Forks Red River this evening.
Yeah, and I talked to Tim Scarborough about this before the West Fargo game. I just happened to run into him. He kind of told me about the changes, and it's exactly what you said. A little bit more balance. Give that second line some more offense with Cale Grunberg, and then give that first line with Stetson Brown just a little bit of juice. He can be your forward-checking guy. He's the guy who goes in and sort of breaks up everything, and then you got Griff Hoganson coming in late. You got Caden Ulmer floating around kind of waiting for something to happen. So it was a, two-pronged attack. One, kind of solidify each line, but two, give them two go-to lines.
It's going to be a fun night tonight. We're glad to have you along with us here as we bring it to you this evening on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. And again, as always, we're brought to you by Rivards Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You find all their products online at rivards.com. Do business with the proven seed mixer here in this area. Do business with Rivards. They mix and match all their seed varieties at their plant right here in Grand Forks, which means that they're ready to help you all throughout the year with the changing growing conditions, and they have science on their side. So make sure when you're doing business with Rivards Turf and Forage. And it's brought to you tonight by Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. The Green Wave, a couple of big wins in the Gambucci Cup Series already. We'll talk about their season here tonight as well, as they just went and had their first duel with War Road. It was an interesting result. We'll talk more about that. Grand Trailer Sales can get you into a new trailer. They can fix and service the current trailer that you have. Grand Trailer Sales is your home to make that trailer run like it's supposed to. Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. We're going to take a break in our pregame report, which is brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And also our pregame report brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you. And when we come back on our pregame report, we'll have the words of the head coach of the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders, Tim Scarborough. We'll also take a look at the players to watch in this one tonight. And yes, we have standings now in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Not much, but we've got standings to talk about. And so we'll do that coming up on our pregame report as well. Stay with us. It's our coverage of high school hockey tonight. Grand Forks Red River and West Fargo Cheyenne on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening. We are at the Blue Line Iceplex, more cleverly known as Eagles Arena tonight. We're going to have to say that throughout the course of the year, just because if we don't, my partner in the broadcast might not hang out with us forever. Eagles Arena, now called the Blue Line Iceplex tonight. Grand Forks Red River gets set to take on West Fargo Cheyenne as we continue our pregame report tonight, brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations, and also brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, and also brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel here this evening at Eagles Arena or Blue Line Iceplex. Well, we're going to talk about our drive for the title coming up here in a couple of moments. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here tonight. But here's what we can say as we kind of take a look around the league before we show the numbers up on the screen and on the radio side tonight on Rock 95. Before we give you the numbers, Grand Forks Central picked as the kind of runaway favorite in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Yeah, they got a victory. They went to Devils Lake and got a win, but we haven't yet seen the sleeping giant really wake up over at Grand Forks Central. They had a hard-fought victory, and boy, after the first night of Eastern Dakota Conference hockey, Red River kind of stood alone as a team that really had the best result back on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they did. It's been kind of a wild couple of days in the East region. I mean, Red River 7-0, obviously, as you just mentioned. Central, I mean, now granted, that game's in Devils Lake, and we all know what happens when you go to Devils Lake. I always call it the Bermuda Triangle. You just never know what's going to happen there. It's a weird place to play, but yeah, 5-3, you would have thought that might have been a little bit more. We saw Grafton knock off Fargo North in overtime.
That was a surprise.
So that was a big one. North, it seemed like they were kind of getting some momentum. We saw Cheyenne behind us here knock off Davies 4-3 in what sounded like a really intense, hard-fought game. So, I mean, we're a week into EDC play, and here we go.
Yeah, it hasn't stalled at all when it comes down to activity that we've had so far here tonight. And let's take a look at drive for the title that we have for you tonight and give you a look at the standings that we have right now. The overtime loss for Fargo North is the difference in the league right now. Fargo North stands in first place in the league as far as points is concerned with 4. They've got a win in the conference, and I believe that was over Fargo Shanley. But then also that tie and eventual loss in overtime to Grafton Park River gave them a point. They got a point for the loss in overtime in that matchup. But they're sitting at 4 points coming into the night. Grand Forks Red River, Grand Forks Central, West Fargo Cheyenne, all with 3 points and would be tied for second in the conference at this point. Red River's win over Devils Lake. Central's win, Red River's win was over West Fargo. Central's win over Devils Lake. West Fargo Cheyenne, as you heard from Ryan Kuntz a couple of moments ago, got a big win over Fargo Davies to get things started. Grafton Park River has the overtime victory. They've got 2 points. Fargo Davies still looking for their first points, as are Fargo Shanley, Devils Lake, and West Fargo. And you see Mayport area, they will not be playing for points once again this year in the Eastern Dakota Conference. But so, I mean, Ryan, when you take a look at that stack up and you see what Grafton Park River got out of that matchup with that win in overtime, they're going to think that's a lot of success come out of Fargo North with 2 points and a team that was maybe picked in the top half of the Eastern Dakota Conference. Grafton's got to feel pretty good about where they're at right now.
They do, and this is probably the highest. I mean, not to take shots, this is the highest they've been in the standings for a while, which is good to see. I've heard there's some maybe a youth movement in Grafton. They're starting to see some good numbers, and I mean, it's always great when Grafton's rolling and is a factor because they just make the state tournament better. They make games fun. So good to see them kind of get a win, and maybe they'll have some momentum this year. And if they do, so be it. We'll just add another team that we have to contend with.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be a lot of fun to have them back when they're around in the East Region tournament. We always talk about during the EDC, that's the team that can find you, and that's the team that can sting you. Because one thing about Grafton, whether they're really good, whether they're just struggling, when they get into that EDC tournament, they feel like they've got some extra energy, and they always play with it, and that's what makes them fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, long before you were probably here calling games, I mean, Grafton was a staple in the state tournament, and they brought the whole town. So state tournament, that place was rocking. I remember the first year at the Ralph, the new Ralph, they had to open up the upstairs. The only time we ever had to do that. Sure. Grafton was in the state championship against Central, and the place was packed, like 9,000 people. It was great.
Well, remember, the first state championship game I did on KNOX was Red River and Grafton Park River.
Yeah, okay.
Jacob Benson, John Lazat. Yeah,
that was a good team.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad team at all. That was in that matchup, but Grafton Park River was the team that they played for the state championship that night at the Ralph. So yes, seeing them get a couple of points was a really nice thing to see coming out of the first night of Eastern Dakota Conference hockey. But the big news for everybody is you take a look at those standings for those of you on the video side. It was night number 1 of the EDC. Very little's been decided yet, but what we did get a sample size for, if Grafton Park River can beat Fargo North, if Devils Lake can play with Grand Forks Central, this league's going to have some balance to it. It's going to be a lot of fun all the way through the EDC from start to finish this year.
Yeah, we knew it would, and hey, you got to make points or make hay early, get points when you can early, because as the season winds on, you know, those points become hard as teams start to get a little bit more desperate. So get them early while you can.
Scheduled tonight, Grafton Park River goes to West Fargo. That's a big matchup in the East Region tonight. Can they follow up their success against West Fargo? Grafton Park River might think that's a game they should win now at this point. Fargo Davies is across town at Grand Forks Central. That matchup is also available to you on KNOX Live Sports. Do a search for KNOX TV on YouTube. You can also find it on our website, knoxradio.com, and you'll be able to take that one in this evening. That one's going on. They faced off at 6:30, so they're actually ahead of us. They're about 7 minutes into their game now. And West Fargo Cheyenne's here tonight. Out west, Bismarck is at Hayes and Beulah, and Jamestown is at Minot United. And I kind of looked at that game, Ryan, as a game that would be interesting. Minot United, they've got, you know, obviously the same team as before, just now split but still co-opt. But, you know, the number of players they lost to the juniors in Minot, Jamestown goes on the road. You never know about that one out in the West Region tonight.
Gosh, Minot had a 5-4 game the other day. Who did they beat? I can't remember if they won or lost. They had a 5-4 game. I think they won. Bismarck High, did you see that? Beat Century.
Yeah, that was a surprise out west.
Yeah, Bismarck High has been struggling the last few years, and Century was picked to probably win the West, and they got upset early, so yeah. It's not just the East that's going to be wild.
There's nothing, it doesn't make sense as of yet, but you know what? At some point by the end of the year, it'll make perfect sense, right?
It'll all fall into place.
Absolutely it will. We'll take a break in our pregame report. And again, our pregame report tonight brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have our conversation on our pregame report with Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders. This is our coverage of high school hockey. West Fargo Cheyenne at Red River on the Rivards Turf and Forage. Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We come to you tonight from Blue Line Iceplex, formerly known as Eagles Arena. Tonight, Grand Forks Red River will take on West Fargo Cheyenne in an Eastern Dakota Conference matchup that we'll have for you this evening. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here tonight from the Blue Line Iceplex. Glad to have you with us. And Cooper Freegene. We've got two Red River alums that are going to be a part of the broadcast tonight. And the most important part's the analyst and the videographer. All I got to do is look pretty, I guess, at this point, right?
Yeah, but Coop's wearing a Crookston jacket. I don't know.
He's a coach.
I know.
You know.
All right.
Plus, apparently,
That's
the way
fine.
that I duct tape his tripod down is not enough. He's over there making last-minute adjustments, showing us how it's done. The young
He
guy,
means business over there.
Yeah, the young guy showing the old guy how to do it here tonight. Our pregame report is brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you. Before we have the words of Tim Scarperud, our coaches' conversation presented tonight by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, he talks about his team playing a complete game. And that means something at this point. Obviously, Caden Ulmer went down and had another big night. You'll see that in our game tools coming up here in a bit. But to see three new players score, Coach Scarperud seemed to be pretty happy with his team's progression through these first few games.
Yeah, as we've done these Red River games, there's two things that Red River needs to do. Number one is they have to play a complete game. And number two is they have to have secondary scoring. They cannot rely on that top line to get all of their goals. If this team is going to be successful, they're going to have to muck it up. They're going to have to play strong defensively. They're going to have to play a full, complete game. They're going to have to get some help. If you're one-dimensional offensively, you become easy to defend. So they need another guy or two or three to jump in and start scoring.
And then stay out of the box, too, and that's something we'll talk about with Coach Scarperud. Giving up 4 power play goals to East Grand Forks, that's not a recipe for success.
No, it not only does it put you in a bad spot offensively, but it kind of kills the flow of the game. And we saw it against East Grand Forks. Any momentum Red River had, as soon as they got a penalty, boom, that was gone.
Absolutely. So let's get the words from Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders tonight, for those of you on Rock 95 and also on KNOX Live Sports, and hear from the coach what it looks like coming into this one after their win over West Fargo back on Tuesday night. Coach, your last game against West Fargo, you go on the road and you take on a team that is rebuilding, and people know that, but there's something to be said about going out, executing, staying focused, and kind of more playing about yourself maybe than the opponent, and that showed in the 7-0 victory back on Tuesday night.
Yeah, for sure. You know what, I thought it was probably our most complete game of the year. I think, the no passengers, 51 minutes, that's what coaches want, and I thought the guys did a good job. They were skating hard, they were finishing checks, had some more block shots, and did a lot of good things on Tuesday.
Another big night for Caden Ulmer for you, Coach. He had another big night scoring goals. And, let's talk about that from a standpoint. When he gets going offensively, things really click for Grand Forks Red River. Is there still a search for a little balance on the offensive side?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, Caden Ulmer and Griffin Hoganson are definitely going to lead our team in offense this year. From there, we're going to have to be scoring by committee, right? And we made a couple of line changes, and you know what? I thought the guys did a good job. Blaze Newbert scored a goal, and Stetson Brown scored a goal, and Rylan Edmonds scored a goal. So it was nice to see some other guys chipping in, and hopefully that builds some confidence and grows throughout the lineup. But we're going to just have to fight for everything that we get this year, which is a good thing. And you know what? I like what we saw on Tuesday.
Speaking of building some confidence, the shutout. You get a nice game from your goaltender. Your defense comes together as well. You said you were going to build things from the defense up throughout the course of the year, so a shutout does mean something in that game.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think we only gave up 7 shots in the first 2 periods, seven more in the third, and that was indicative of our skating. We were on them, we were on pucks, and sometimes the best defense is an offense. And I think that was maybe what was the case on Tuesday, but that was because we played, we were tough on pucks. We were giving them no time and space and limited their chances that way.
Coach, you get ready to take on West Fargo Cheyenne tonight, and looking at them, they're a little different animal than what you've seen so far. They've got 2 very good defenders back that can do some scoring back on the blue line. They're one of those teams that Ryan Kuntz has told us is maybe a little bit of a sleeper in the Eastern Dakota Conference and could do something. This is a scary opponent tonight.
Absolutely. You know what? We're expecting a big challenge tonight. Like you said, they got a couple good defensemen back, and I think they got some good depth at forwards. I think they got some young kids that are pretty skilled, good depth at forward. Obviously, their coach's son is probably their most skilled player. Got to watch out for him, but no, they got some good depth, and definitely looking forward to a good challenge tonight.
When you play a team that's got some scoring opportunities back on the blue line, I don't think a lot changes. You game plan for it, but what is different on the ice about confronting that?
Yeah, I think for us, it's the same as everything, right? Just make them go 200 feet. Puck management, make them go 200 feet. And then when they have the puck, when their skilled guys have the puck, if it's forward or defense, make it tough on them. Be physical, get in their face, be aggressive. Just give them no time and space, and make them earn everything that they get.
When we saw you against East Grand Forks a couple of nights ago, the penalty kill was something that you had to put on the ice too often. I'm sure there was a message out there to the guys that we got to stay at full strength here.
Yeah, I mean, we had 6 penalties, against East Grand Forks, and 2, maybe 3 is probably the norm. 6 is not going to be any good, especially against a good team. And at the start of the year, I'll hand up as a coach. Our penalty kill wasn't probably as coached as good as it should have been, and we worked on that the last week, and we'll keep getting better at that. But definitely discipline, stay out of the box. It's not like guys were dumb. It's just reaching, not skating. Yeah, a couple dumb penalties here and there too, but definitely 6 is not a recipe for success. So hopefully it's 2 or less, maybe 3 or less, and play 5-on-5 hockey, and then we get the power play chances. Would be great.
Well, our apologies to those of you on the radio side. You didn't have the opportunity to take in our conversation with Tim Scarperud, the head coach of Red River tonight. We did have that available on the video side this evening, but apparently not on the radio side. We had a technical glitch back in our studios, and so our apologies for that. But those of you on the video side, you had the opportunity to hear the conversation with Tim Scarperud. Our coaches' conversations are brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your very best work. You can find Acme Equipment and Acme Tools with their lot across from Simplot on Gateway and Grand Forks for scissor lifts, skid steer loaders, all of the things that you're looking for to make your work site just flow faster. And when it's time for you do-it-yourselfers to find the tool you're looking for, they've got their main tool shop just a couple of blocks south of Gateway on North Washington, and a service department that will make that tool work again. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers, bringing you our coaches' conversation tonight. And just for those of you on the radio side, Coach Scarperud talked about this team from West Fargo Cheyenne having some offensive weapons back on the blue line and how that's a little bit different. Charlie Yistovo, Oliver Lashovsky, a couple of guys that can score goals, and they're part of the players to watch tonight. And he mentioned when you've got that, you have to extend your game to 200 feet. He said that's the recipe for playing a team where offense is going to come from their blue line. You can't afford to lay back. You can't let them get up. You've got to take it to them all the way down the ice.
Yeah, they learned that lesson not too long ago against East Grand Forks. When the East Grand Forks defensemen pile up 4 or 5 points against Red River in that game, and they were a huge factor in that. So they saw firsthand what happens when you kind of forget about defensively, forget about those D-men back there.
Absolutely. Now, when we take a look at our tools for the game that we have tonight, brought to you by Logan Karski, your State Farm insurance agent in Grand Forks. And again, Logan Karski is ready to help you put together a game plan to protect home, auto, life, health, whatever it is that needs protection. He has you covered. Brand new to Grand Forks. Good to have him with us. He is your State Farm Insurance representative, Logan Karski with State Farm Insurance. And when you take a look at that West Fargo Cheyenne lineup, there's Bennett Benson, there's Oliver Lashovsky, and there's Charlie Yistovo. Yes, they've got some new faces in their lineup as well, but with those 3 guys for West Fargo Cheyenne, that's a nice place to start building a hockey team.
Yeah, it's a nice top pairing on the blue line. And Bennett Benson, and I'm going to tell you this, Ryan, right now, that kid is the kind of guy, he'll punch in the stomach, he'll steal the puck, he's going to go score on you, then he's going to come back and tell you what he just did to you. I love the edge that he plays with. He's fast, he's physical, he shoots hard, he gets dirty. I saw him, he cut his chin this fall, still not healed. He kept gashing it open, hitting guys. He's a hard player, and I'm excited to watch him play tonight.
You love to have somebody that plays with that kind of passion, right? For Grand Forks Red River, Caden Ulmer's up to 5 goals and 9 points on the season. Had another big night now at West Fargo. Griffin Hoganson's up to 5 points. Brecken Holtberg now has 3. But some of the guys to talk about, Stetson Brown, his first goal. Blaze Newbert, his first goal. Rylan Edmond back on the defensive side, his first goal. So Red River started to open up some balance. Yes, as you heard from Coach Scarperud, Caden Ulmer, Griffin Hoganson, they're going to be your leaders, but seeing those other offensive weapons emerge, that's the mission right now for Grand Forks Red River.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge having that backup line that can help you out. I mean, you're seeing some big numbers early from Caden Ulmer, and it's good to see Griff finally break out because, man, he could have had 5 or 6 goals in those first 2 games, and he was shut out, and then had a huge night the other night against West Fargo.
So those are your tools for the game tonight, and they're brought to you by your State Farm Insurance representative, Logan Karski in Grand Forks. Going to take a break in our pregame report, and when we continue, we'll come back and talk about our keys for the game that we have for tonight, and get ready to throw down the starting lineups and throw the puck down as well here at Blue Line Iceplex in Grand Forks, formerly Eagles Arena. It's Red River and West Fargo Cheyenne set to do battle next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We're preparing for our national anthem that we'll have for you this evening as Grand Forks Red River gets set to take on West Fargo Cheyenne. Let's take a look at our keys for the game tonight as we continue our pregame report. Pregame report brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel, and brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. First, our keys for the game brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. And up first, the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs and their keys for the game tonight. Avoid penalties. 22 minutes in the box already this year for West Fargo Cheyenne. That's what happens when you play physically and you play with the chip. Sometimes you get put in the box, and you want them to be physical, which is the next key to the game. But avoid the penalties, and that's easier said than done, I suppose, Ryan.
Yeah, this team does play with an edge, and it's not just Bennett Benson. There's another one, Avon Bredvik, who's another sophomore. You'll see him getting in everything he can, little guy, but he doesn't care. So they play with an edge, and you kind of got to balance that a little bit.
Absolutely. Keys of the game tonight for the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders. Have some balance on offense, which they've already done against that West Fargo Packers team. It was a big key for them. And be strong on the power play. When you've got the opportunity, if Cheyenne's going to take those penalty minutes, you've got to be able to capitalize when you get the man advantage.
Boy, I'll tell you what, let's add one now that we're looking at this roster. Fargo Cheyenne's going with 4D tonight. So if you're Red River, that puck gets deep, you pound those D and you wear them out.
Yep, a little bit of an endurance factor that comes into play as well. Those are the keys for the game tonight, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. And stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Every stick, every skate, the precision skate sharpening that they have for you. If you need a tool that you're looking for the game of hockey, they've got it for you. And great service as well at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Again, stop and see them on South Washington and Grand Forks. They bring you the keys for the game tonight. All right, we're going to take one final break in our pregame report as they announce our starting lineups tonight, and we will come back and get ready following our national anthem with a face-off for tonight's matchup. It's Grand Forks Red River, West Fargo Cheyenne, and it's on the way next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports this evening from Eagles Arena, now called the Blue Line Iceplex tonight. And we had some ice buddies, and the starting lineups have taken just a little bit longer to announce than we expected. So we'll have our national anthem coming up for you here in just a couple of moments. Let's take a look at the starters for tonight's matchup. First of all, for West Fargo Cheyenne, the goaltender is Cruz Fitzpatrick, a sophomore. Starting defensive pair, sophomore Oliver Lashovsky and senior Charlie Istovo. And the first line, Bennett Benson, a junior, with Taylor Zander on his left, a junior, and Wyatt Madsen, a sophomore, on his right. That's the starting lineup tonight for West Fargo Cheyenne under head coach David Benson. And we'll get to Grand Forks Red River's lineup coming up in a couple of moments. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring you our national anthem that we have for you here this evening from Grand Forks Red River's Eagles Arena and the Blue Line Iceplex. We'll get to it here in a couple of moments. Just a little bit of the pleasantries kind of.
Ooh, they got the Velvetones and the Manitones.
Oh, very good.
This is my favorite.
Okay, let's see if we can get them in here. Velvetones and the Manitones performing the national anthem tonight. Let's continue with our starting lineups this evening. For Grand Forks Red River and the Rough Riders, the starting goaltender is Rylan Carinta, senior. The starting defensive pair tonight, pair of seniors, Rylan Edmond and Cullen Rost. will get the start this evening. Griffin Hoganson will bring out the top line with Stetson Brown on his left wing and Caden Ulmer on his right wing. Hoganson, a senior. Stetson Brown, Caden Ulmer, a pair of juniors for Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Rough Riders. We wanted to mention tonight that the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs have assistant Nick Inget Paul Buckland on the staff. Now you're wondering why the man has that many names. Nick Buckland is engaged to Leighton Media Grand Forks' Misty Paul's daughter, Greta Paul, I believe is her name. And so we told Nick that tonight we were going to introduce him as Nick Inget Paul Buckland. Inget being his fiance's mother's maiden name, Paul being his fiance's last name, Buckland being his name, illustrating to him that when you marry the whole family. So tonight, David Benson is assisted by Nick Inget Paul Buckland. Nick, let that be a lesson to you about wedded bliss that you were about to embark upon.
Yeah, I was trying to follow that. There's a lot of names there. I think I got it, though. Nick
Inget, E-N-G-E-T, Inget. Inget is how it's pronounced. Paul, P-A-U-L.
Yep.
Buckland. Her mom's maiden, her last, his last. Okay? If we knew his middle name, we'd throw that in as well.
Oh, you should have got that.
I should have. I didn't have a lot of time for show prep today. Bennett Benson will take the draw against Griffin Hoganson, and we're underway with high school hockey tonight with Grand Forks Red River hosting West Fargo Cheyenne as the Rough Riders get the first touch on the puck. Charlie Yistabo trying to rotate it out of his own end. It's tipped up right along the line. A huge hit. There's Bennett Benson making his presence known immediately as Benson lights up a Red River Rough Rider right at center ice after the puck was sent deep into the West Fargo Cheyenne zone. Riders trying to play it out of their own end. Crisp pass to Stetson Brown on the left wing. Brown tries to take a snapshot. It's blocked. Loose puck back out to center. Wyatt Matson's got it. A little bit of a step on the forecheck. He'll throw one in against the defenders, and that's bladed out of the way by Ryland Corinta, and we'll see a draw coming up in the Grand Forks Red River zone.
Right off the bat, Bennett Benson meeting up with Cullen Ross in center ice, Ryan. They both went down. Bennett came off the ice a little tender. I don't know if you can look down there. Do you see him standing there? Or he looked like he was hurting when he came off the ice.
He's okay, but he's got his head back right now. Yeah, Cullen Ross might have got wiped out, but Bennett Benson took some of the bad end of that hit as well, and we'll draw on the Red River zone with the Riders picking up control of it. Cale Gruenberg running up the ice on the left wing, ends up losing the puck behind him. Avon Bredvik, who is back on the back check for West Fargo Cheyenne, came up with a toss away. This will work back over to the far side. We'll see Mikhail Alexandrovich coming up with a touch, and he'll throw this back into the Grand Forks Red River zone. Our coverage is brought to you tonight by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devils Lake.
Ryan, one thing to watch with Cruz Fitzpatrick for West Fargo Cheyenne, he's incredibly active with the puck. He'll come out, he'll stick handle, he'll shoot it up the ice. He's great at cutting off passes with his stick. He's really good in those areas.
Puck goes loose back into the Red River zone, and Brecken Holtberg is back to cut it off in the left corner of the Rough Rider zone. We have no score. We played 1 minute and 15 seconds of the opening period. Gruenberg on the right wall looking to toss one up into the neutral zone. Took a bit of a hit on the back end of that as well. Meanwhile, back to Charlie Yistabo out for another shift already. As we talked about, the defensive side of things for West Fargo Cheyenne a bit thin, and Wyatt Matson ends up taking a shot from behind. That frees the puck back into the neutral zone. A drive up ice for the Rough Riders, and Caden Svoboda, who's played well in the early going, brought it up. See the puck coming back out into the neutral zone. West Fargo Cheyenne takes control. Taylor Zander dumping in. Can't get a shot away on net. Puck will rotate back out towards the near edge, and a pass back to center ice for Red River, where Chase Kolka will take it, and he takes a shot. Oliver Lashovsky put him down, and you can see why maybe this Cheyenne team takes a penalty or two. They have hit crisply all over the ice so far tonight in the very early going. Here's a drive up the ice for Avon Bredvik, and he had his puck knocked away back into the wall. It works back to him in the neutral zone. He'll drive one in wide of the net, looking for the carom, and Caleb Adringa comes up for a touch and rotates it back over towards the left side. Bredvik's there for Cheyenne, trying to take control. And the Riders on their heels a little bit in the first 2.5 minutes of the opening period. Walk back in their own end. A scramble along the near side wall. This will be pitchfork back down to the neutral zone. Tanner Peterson goes out to get it for the Mustangs. Flips it off towards the left wing, and a shot will score from the left side of the ice. shot will score for West Fargo Cheyenne. It'll be Mikhail Alexandrovich that's going to pick up the goal. A little bobbler that it looked like Rylan Corinta had and didn't get the stop on, and the Mustangs will take a 1-0 lead.
I mean, that was just a 1-on-3. It was almost just more of a dump it, and I think either that puck dropped or Corinta misjudged it. He should have had that one. He's going to want that one back all night.
Time of the goal, 2 minutes, 37 seconds. Let's take a look at it. The American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replaying Alexandrovich's left wing, and it just kind of came off stick side on Corinta. He thought he had it, but he did not. And Grand Forks Red River gives up the opening goal tonight to make it 1-0, and now we'll draw in the Cheyenne zone.
Yeah, that's the start they wanted, just to get some momentum if you're West Fargo Cheyenne. Now, I'm going to go back to Bennett Benson, Ryan. He came out for a second shift after that first hit. He's not looking well. He keeps favoring his right ankle, so he might be in some trouble. That could be a huge factor here if he's not able to go 100%.
It's 1-0 in favor of the Mustangs, however. They've got the early momentum with some very physical play. Cullen Ross chipping off the far side wall, and it will float back to him. Back in the Grand Forks Red River zone, he's being chased all the way behind his own net by Wyatt Matson trying to chase him down. And the Rough Riders will rotate it back out near side, and now Ross coming all the way up the left side wall, made a pass out in front for Hoganson that he couldn't catch up to. Ulmer got it back, played it back to point, and it's mishandled a bit by Rylan Edmond trying to hold the offensive zone on the right. Riders have to get back on side. Edmond coming up the wall, bouncing one to Ulmer. Ulmer taking a shot, and again, Bennett Benson coming out to give him a rub. Puck will come back near side. Matson with it, turns it back to center. It'll be picked up by Benson at center ice. Benson drives his way towards the corner. Brecken Holtberg and Bennett Benson into the corner, and we're going to see a penalty. Bennett Benson got his hand up around the face mask of Brecken Holtberg and pulled him down from behind. I don't know that the Riders are aware, but we're going to see a call coming up against Bennett Benson. And Red River's going to go on the power play to get things started tonight.
Well, it looks like whatever pain he was in is gone now, because he came flying up the wall, chasing down a Rider defenseman, and then, like you said, just got his hand too high, grabbed around the head area and pulled him down. Just a little too much, but chance for Red River to get themselves back in this game.
Benson for holding is the call. The time of the penalty, 3 minutes, 48 seconds. And a power play for RBB Electric. On call, on time, and online. RBBelectric.com, and Caden Ulmer taking control of a draw, but ends up trying to float it back to point. Nobody home, and the Riders left to go back into their own end to break out. A look by Brecken Holtberg back behind him. Caden Ulmer, quarterback into charge up the ice. Comes back left side for Griffin Hoganson. Hoganson left point, back into the corner, found Ulmer. Back to the right circle, a quick shot kicked away by Cruz Fitzpatrick. That came off the right. That was Cullen Ross that got the shot, and the Riders made that look good, but Fitzpatrick made it look really good. Holtberg, high slot. Now we've got a penalty coming up near the net of Cheyenne as a stop is made by Fitzpatrick on a drive that came in from the left point for Griffin Hoganson, but another penalty coming up. And if it's against the Mustangs, the Riders would skate up 2 with 1:26 left on the original penalty.
Well, it is on Cheyenne. They're saying interference. And now there's discussion at the bench. I'm not sure.
No one's gone off the ice yet.
It might have been on Cruz Fitzpatrick. It might have been on Cruz, and they're pulling somebody off the ice to serve this. It'll be Taylor Zander. But
so Zander's going to go into the box. It'll be an interference call. Time of the penalty at 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So an interference call, and we'll see Zander serve the penalty for West Fargo Cheyenne, and it's a 2-man power play for Grand Forks Red River for 1 minute and 21 seconds. Holtberg back to get the puck in his own end. Steps back up the middle and widens out towards the left, leaves it for Hoganson left point. Hoganson steps in and works back high slot, finding Cullen Ross, and now Brecken Holtberg. Holtberg back to Hoganson, near side circle, whiffs on a snapshot, turns it back into the corner for Caden Ulmer. Back out to Hoganson on the left point. 1 minute of 2-men advantage left to go, and a shot through the slot that's deflected wide. Cale Gruenberg picking up the rebound and turns it back towards the right for Cullen Ross. Back to Hoganson, left circle. Surveys his options, didn't have an angle, turned it back to center. Holtberg fights to keep it in the zone. He cannot. A big clearing play is made by Easton Frith on the penalty kill for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Yeah, great start to this 5-on-3 for West Fargo Cheyenne. They've kept Red River to the outside, nothing to the net, and they get a huge clear there.
30 seconds left of 2-man advantage for Grand Forks Red River. Caden Ulmer dashing up the net again, gets in deep, fires and scores on a backhand shot. Caden Ulmer, individual play all the way up the ice. And Grand Forks Red River has tied the game on a power play goal. It's one apiece.
Boy, that's the speed of Caden Ulmer right there. I don't even think that defenseman for Cheyenne, whoever it was, just realized how fast Caden Ulmer got on him.
Let's take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Seems like a harmless breakout for Caden Ulmer, then just kept going. And you're right, that sidestep, Ryan, widened out to the circle, and there was no chance you give him that much space. And Ulmer's going to dash around you. And it's now a 1-1 tie.
And the good news for Red River, they got that on the 5-on-3, so they'll have 50 seconds left of 5-on-4 here.
Still on the power play. Svoboda trying to hold the puck at the offensive end. Picked away, however, and Caleb Adringa will bring it up the ice for West Fargo Cheyenne. Knocked away off the left, and Grand Forks Red River will form up behind their net. 35 seconds left of the power play. 11:13 to play in the opening period, and it's a 1-1 tie as Svoboda brings the puck back up for the Rough Riders. He'll turn it back towards the right side. It's picked up off the wall and driven down into the corner by Brody Lucier. Lucier jumping in as a defender. 2 defenders on this power play unit for Grand Forks Red River. Puck along the far boards. A hit on Blaze Newbert from behind. Stetson Brown holds on to the puck. Turns it back to Mason Breno. Back to Brown out of the circle. Cross ice pass, and it was deflected before it could make its way towards Blaze Newbert, who was looking for a one-timer, and the Mustangs will throw it out of play on the near side of the ice.
Yeah, Yesville had a chance to clear that. Just got too much air, and that plays in here. Now Red River's got a face-off here with 6 seconds left on 5-on-4, so they can get something set up for a quick play.
Been an active first period. A goal early on kind of an excuse-me play from the wing for West Fargo Cheyenne. Down to 3 seconds left, and the puck is knocked back into the neutral zone, and that will end the Red River power play. They get 1 on 5-on-3 to make the power play good. We're tied at 1. Griffin Hoganson bringing up a loose puck on the near side, and Oliver Lashovsky chased him down for Cheyenne. It's back to Hoganson behind the net. Hoganson working out towards the left wall, tries to approach the point, steps back, and then fires one back into the corner. Ulmer circles back after it. Sent it through 2 defenders trying for the net. Lashovsky picked it off, and Ulmer nearly cleaned his stick of the puck. Griffin Hoganson making a sidestep. Out to Ulmer, waiting on a one-timer, couldn't get it, but Cullen Ross will hold the offensive zone, and the Riders continue with time. Another turn towards the net, that time coming in from Stetson Brown. Puck will go loose to the high slot, and it's picked away by Wyatt Matson for West Fargo Cheyenne. Matson to Xander, left point. Picked off, getting back nicely defensively for Red River was Wyland Edmond, who scored his first goal of the season 2 nights ago against West Fargo. Puck back up into the neutral zone. Riders trying to dig it out. And Red River has Kyler Beadall back out there on this lineup. They put their 3rd and 4th lines together on the ice. Thor Seeger's on the ice right now, but Kyler Beadall and Chase Kulka have come together on that group as well.
Yeah, they made some changes on that. Caden Benke, normally a defenseman, moved up to play forward. Now he's found his way to the 3rd line, at least on the line chart.
Didn't see him out there in that group as of yet, however. We'll see how that develops throughout the night. Puck brought back by Kulka. He comes back near side for Thor Seeger. Seeger charging, took a big hit into the near side wall. Everything's been physical so far. Bennett Benson, and now another huge hit laid in on Benke, who got a little frustrated. Back to the right side. Hultberg with a wrister. That's blocked. The puck goes loose to the wall. A scramble on for Easton Frith to try to take control for the Mustangs. He left it behind him. Puck goes back behind him again for Mikhail Alexandrovich, who had the opening goal tonight for the Mustangs. Another big hit laid in, this time on Blaze Newbert in the corner. And another turn back over to the far side for the Mustangs as they try to get it out of their own end.
Yeah,
well, give Red River credit, they've been up the ice.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing from West Fargo, their defensemen, a lot of turnovers in their end, and they're having to go up, back, up, back. But you only have 4D. That stop and start, that wears on you throughout a game.
Absolutely. Cale Gruenberg, nice sidestep into a 3-on-2 odd man for Red River. Gruenberg from the circle ends up having a shot blocked by Oliver Lashovsky. Riders back to it, though. Shot through traffic. Cruz Fitzpatrick kicks that away. Svoboda, short-sided from the left corner, goes wide. And Gruenberg picks it up on the right point. Wrister into traffic. Tip wide by Mason Breno. Pile up in the far corner. Lashovsky trying to approach Breno. Breno gets trapped up against the wall. Gruenberg comes in and puts a hit in. That's going to be a penalty against Cale Gruenberg. Not sure what he'll get. He came in with a check, maybe stick a bit high. We'll see if that's what it's going to be. Well, a call coming up is going to be a roughing call against Cale Gruenberg, and now the Mustangs will have a chance to go on the power play. Yeah, see if they give us our media timeout.
I think I heard the buzzer.
If you did, we're going to the stoppage. Let's see if we do. And the Riders have come off the ice. So media timeout with 7:52 to play in the opening period. We're tied at 1 on the All True scoreboard. We're going to come back with more in a couple of moments. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Media stoppage with 7:52 left to go. Timeouts are brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region, and brought to you tonight as well by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. Cale Gruenberg to the box for roughing. Time of the penalty will be at 9:08 of the opening period, and the Mustangs will go on the power play for the first time in a 1-1 matchup here at Blue Line Iceplex in Grand Forks. We'll see the Mustang power play unit for the first time. Lashovsky back behind the net. Griffin Hoganson waiting for him on the breakout. Lashovsky hands it off to Bennett Benson, rotating back over from left to right to take control. Sent it up, kind of empty space there. That was an error by the Mustangs. No one home to take the puck, and now Hoganson goes after a very aggressive with the puck, Cruz Fitzpatrick, which you were telling us about before the game tonight.
Yeah, he'll drive you nuts, but he's really good at it.
Yistabo comes up into the offensive end for West Fargo Cheyenne. Sends it back behind the net. Cullen Ross is there to pick it off. Looks for another clear, found it. Very efficient penalty kill so far. And there again is Fitzpatrick all the way over by the wall, looking to make the pass himself. And it gets some time and space. Benson coming up the offensive end, finding Taylor Zander on the right wing, but Rough Riders pick it off, and this time they'll drag it up into the offensive zone for a little shorthanded rush. Mason Breno putting it back behind the net, and Yistabo has to go cut it off for the Mustangs. Then he turned it over back behind the net, or at least left it empty. The puck will be kicked back over to the near side where Benson can pick it up, and with 50 seconds left of the RBB Electric power play, the Mustangs looking for some momentum.
Yeah, Red River doing a great job on these zone entries, Ryan. They're just hanging tight in the blue line, kind of using that blue line as a hard stop and turning West Fargo over there and just sending that puck down the ice.
Another pass up the ice that's off the stick too hard. Taylor Zander can't hold it. Riders clear it immediately. Well, Red River had their struggles on the penalty kill against East Grand Forks, and here in the pregame conversation tonight with Tim Scarperud, it was a POE, a point of emphasis for this team getting ready. West Fargo Cheyenne gains the offensive end. They'll come out to the right, and once again, Red River will clear off a collision of sticks with 10 seconds left to go on the power play.
Yeah, that was just a hustle play by Griff Hoganson, I believe, was the one who just beat a
and a pass goes off the side of the net. Fitzpatrick has to make a save of sorts from a shot from his own teammate, and that's going to be the end of the power play. And Cheyenne does not get a shot on goal during the power play, and most of it was actually in Cheyenne's end of the ice.
I'm not even sure they got a pass off in the offensive zone on that one.
No, a lot of turnovers right through the neutral zone. And now the puck pinned loose in the Grand Forks Red River end far corner with 5:34 to play in the period. It pops back out towards the right, and a dribbler coming in that got in tight.
Oh,
it's
wow,
kicked to the net, and that's a score for West Fargo Cheyenne. The Mustangs will score as the power play comes to an end. 3 shots on goal, 2 goals tonight for the Mustangs, and the Mustangs will reclaim the lead. It's now 2-1.
Yeah, that was Avon Bredvik, and just a hard-working play. He just kept fighting through defenders, corralled the puck at the top of the crease, made a nice move, and stuffs it in.
A little dribbler that got in tight on Ryland Corinta, and I don't think he expected it to get in that tight as it did, and he might have kind of given up on it a little bit. So now it's 2-1 in favor of West Fargo Cheyenne. And Grand Forks Red River back down. They have not yet had the lead tonight. Scored on the power play, but the Mustangs have 2 5-on-5 so far tonight. Ulmer, Hoganson, Rister, deflected in front of Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick will hold on for the whistle.
Yeah, nice little give and go there from Ulmer to Hoganson. The shot was deflected and kind of threw Fitzpatrick off, but he hung with it, made a save with 2 riders bearing down on him.
Go back to that goal that we had in a couple of moments here. We'll take a look at the fight on that one for what we believe Bredvik. Caden Ulmer wins the draw. Cullen Ross to Rister into traffic, and that got in on Fitzpatrick. He had to sit on it. Let's go back to it. American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay brought to you by Tyler Nagel, your agent in Grand Forks. And You'll see this puck dribble off of a stick right about there and just kind of got in on Corinta. And then, as you said, Bredvik got in there and did the rest. And a gritty area goal, as you like to talk about, Ryan, and they make a lot of differences.
When you think of Avon Bredvik, think of Brad Marchand. He's the same exact guy. He's an agitator. He's a little guy, and he is in your face at all times. But a really nice goal there.
Mustangs lead by a score of 2-1 on the All-True scoreboard with 4:52 to play in the opening period. Puck loose, Lashovsky back in the Cheyenne zone. Turned it back out right point. Cullen Ross got a shot through traffic, and it's picked up on the far edge by Charlie Yistabo. It'll be turned back to Lashovsky, who will backhand a puck over towards the near side, and Landon Sock will come up with some touch there on Hoganson, but Hoganson pulls it away. Turns it back out to the right. Cullen Ross into traffic again. Another kick save by Fitzpatrick. A follow-up shot left side coming from Rylan Edmond. Fitzpatrick turns that away, and he's been tested. That's the 12th shot by the Rough Riders.
He has. He's sharp, and Ryan, if you're going to shoot on Cruz Fitzpatrick, you better have traffic. If he sees it, he's saving it.
Two big hits by West Fargo Cheyenne along the far wall. Puck up on an edge and rolling right side. Bennett Benson a sidestep, getting in tight, has the puck knocked away. Then he goes in hard on Rylan Corinta, and Corinta spends some time on the ice while the Riders try to come back up the ice with a puck offensively. It'll work back to the Red River line. Turned back up the ice off the near edge by Blaze Newbert. Newbert will turn it back. It'll be picked up left side by Lashovsky and eventually tossed up into the ceiling. And we'll see a draw coming up in the West Fargo Cheyenne zone.
I mean, if you're Red River, you got to love everything that's happening in this game right now other than the score. I mean, shots are 12-3. They're turning the puck over in the Cheyenne end like crazy. The zone time is heavily in their favor, but still down 2-1.
Couple of little dribblers, couple of, you could say, weird goals
kind of
at
weird
this point
goals,
for the
yeah.
Mustangs. Puck off the left side. Taylor Zander has it knocked away. It floats back into the corner. A turn out of that corner by Mason Breno trying to hold on to an offensive edge. Breno's hit fore and aft and being dug at pretty strongly by Mikhail Alexandrovich, along with some help over there from Bennett Benson. Now it's 2-on-3 as Cale Gruenberg gets involved for Red River, and he's the man that pulls it back out. Brecken Holtberg on the right. Another shot that just whistles wide into the corner. May have just been to distribute the puck down low. This goes in front. Gruenberg dribbles past him, but he's able to pick it up off the right wall. Turns it out in front. A good one-time shot. Mason Breno, and again, Fitzpatrick was there to deny it.
That was a great play by Red River. Hard work along the wall, get out to the point, work to the front, get a shot on net.
Only to see Cruz Fitzpatrick make a great save.
He's quick.
He's been good tonight. 12 saves so far for Fitzpatrick. We're down to 2:45 to play. Gruenberg a drop pass. Step in and a wrister into traffic again, coming from Brody Lucier. Another puck dribbles off to the high slot, and Cheyenne will ice the puck. Will come back into the West Fargo Cheyenne zone.
Yeah, shots up to 13-3, but Cruz is just hanging in there, Ryan. Like I said, you got to get traffic. You got to get sticks on pucks on the way to the net if you're Red River. Nothing can be free. It's got to be, everything's got to be hard. And just, I mean, you got to get a body at the top of the blue paint and just sit them there and make it uncomfortable.
2 minutes, 35 seconds left of the period. We'll draw it to the right of Fitzpatrick in the Cheyenne zone. And the puck is corralled by Tanner Peterson, who steps up offensively. Peterson, left point. Drives one in wide of the net. Loose puck will be picked up by Caleb Adringa in the right corner for the Mustangs as they try to set up shop offensively. So come back along the wall, tip back into the neutral zone, and then loose along the Red River line, only to be sent back down the ice by Avon Bredvik, who's been pretty active so far tonight for the Mustangs. Their second line has shown you some good moments so far here tonight. Puck back to 2 minutes, actually clocked at 2 minutes to go. Puck sent up the ice off of a Mustang back in their own end. Lashovsky looks after it, turns it back to Bredvik on the right wall. He'll come back out to center, charge up the ice, and a puck sent wide off the far edge. And that was Charlie Yistabo that was trying to lead a breakout for West Fargo Cheyenne. We talked about their defenders having an offensive edge to them, and that's been the case so far here tonight.
Yeah, he's all the way up at the blue line. And again, though, you go back to that four-defender situation for Cheyenne, and how does that play in as this game goes on?
Yeah, right. It's a long
game. How effective can they be offensively as we progress through this game, especially with what's happening in their defensive end?
Yeah, you know, Tim Scarperu took a page right out of what you talked about on the pregame report. It's been up, aggressive forecheck against four defenders. I mean, he wants to make that a part of the game here tonight for the Rough Riders. Puck back to center, Stetson Brown taking a pass from Caden Ulmer. Brown trying to charge up in the offensive end, has it off his stick, then it's turned over. Brown tried a wrister and ended up having his stick picked from behind. A play off the glass, comes out to the near point. Brody Lucier holds the offensive end. Here's a 3-on-1. Ulmer a stop. Hoganson with a shot that goes wide. Ulmer got it out of the left corner, made a great pass to Hoganson. His shot was offline. Ulmer stays with it, turns it back to Hoganson near the net. That'll be disrupted by Easton Brown for the Mustangs. He turns it back towards the left. Zander has control out of the circle. He tries to step around Hoganson, lost the puck. A cut inside by Brecken Holtberg, and another loose puck in the high slot. That'll be picked away by the Mustangs, and Brown will send it back to the neutral zone. We're in the final minute of the opening period. Puck off the right side, brought up. Brecken Holtberg will drop it off to the right. Caden Ulmer has one come back out into the neutral zone. It's knocked away. Stetson Brown has it. Stick flies 30 feet up in the air.
Geez.
Brown sends one. Actually, Breno sends one in, and it was saved by Fitzpatrick with the knob end of the stick that's sent into the corner. And then we see a big collision on the right side of the glass. And after all that, we'll draw in the Cheyenne zone.
Just chaos. But you're right. Cruz Fitzpatrick saved that with a knob of his stick. The puck kicks to the far side. Massive collision. Another shot. And Cruz just gloves that out of the air like no big deal. He's up to 15 saves now.
Fight for the draw. Works back behind the net. Yistabo for West Fargo Cheyenne. A toss off the near side picked up by Rylan Edmond. Then Mason Breno got a piece of it. He'll be picked clean from behind by Tanner Peterson of West Fargo Cheyenne. Out to the center line. Cullen Ross dumps it in. Near side, Yistabo trying to take control. And did we see a whistle? No, we did not. I think it sounded like there was one.
Kind of sounded like a whistle.
Yep. 2-on-2 in the corner. 10 seconds left of the period. I think half the men think that there was a whistle out there. They all came to a stop at the same time. Caleb Adringa turns it into the neutral zone, reaching back. Avon Bredvik coming up the ice. Sidestep, couldn't get a shot away, and that's going to be the end of the opening period. Couple of nice bounces for West Fargo Cheyenne will give them the lead going into the second period. And after one, it's the Mustangs 2 and the Rough Riders 1 on our all-true scoreboard. But a very active first period of hockey tonight, to say the least.
Bruce Fitzpatrick saw the most of that action. Shots, it says 13-3. I bet they're 15-3. They're just late putting them up. So 15 saves. He's on pace for 45. He had 45 the other night against Davies, but he thrives on it.
Well, we'll see what happens coming into period number 2. And as you mentioned, there's a bit of an endurance battle going on tonight. We'll see if that blue line for West Fargo Cheyenne can hold up. But it's time to go to our intermission report tonight, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And those of you on the video side, stay with us through a short break, because when we come back, we're going to take you through the highlights that we had in the opening period of hockey. So give us the opportunity to step aside. We'll come back and show you what happened in period number 1 tonight. At the end of a period, your score on the All-True scoreboard is West Fargo Cheyenne 2, Grand Forks Red River 1. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and 4-H of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser cut finish house. Signature Graphic, come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Rock 95 on the radio side tonight. And, well, tonight at our intermission, we've got about the cutest group of figure skaters you've probably ever seen, huh? What are we thinking? Maybe 4 to 7 years old here, something like that, maybe?
Well, you know, I think they're older. They're just little.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm starting to lose track. Obviously, my daughter's skating. I'm starting to lose track of kind of the rough age limits.
6 to 9, 6 to 10.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe somewhere in there.
That's probably a good one.
Okay,
but,
all right. Well, we got, they're in cute little striped dresses tonight with a red sash.
Train theme?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they got
okay.
kind of old train-themed songs. So.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
We're putting on a good show.
Absolutely, and the teams are putting on a good show tonight here as well. We welcome you back to Blue Line Iceplex, formerly Eagles Arena. It's 2-1 West Fargo Cheyenne over Grand Forks Red River as we go to our halftime report. Brought to you tonight by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Get the chemicals out, taste into your water. Great tasting water. You'll drink more with a system from High Plains Water. No more scaly buildup on those fixtures and cleaner laundry with less detergent. All of that saving you money. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. And our halftime report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. When it's time to get things repaired after the season, don't put them away broken. Put them away repaired with help from Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Broken or twisted shafts, holes that need tightening, they can get those repairs ready at Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Well, we'll get you a look at our scoring summary. Again, one thing about our scoring summary, we'll show it for you on the screen coming up here in our next segment in our intermission report. However, we can't hear very well at Eagles Arena, and so we wait for the stat sheets to come up so we know where to give out the assists and that type of thing. So we'll go through our scoring summary that we have for you in just a couple of moments with Who Lit the Lamp, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. But let's take a look at our highlights that we had in the first half of the matchup tonight as we take a look at our highlights brought to you this evening by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. And it starts here with a shot from the left point by Alexandrovich that ends up bouncing off of Wyland Corinta and just dribbling in. It was the first of two rather strange-looking goals tonight for West Fargo Cheyenne. This was not a strange-looking goal for Caden Ulmer. In deep, sidesteps the defender, comes on his backhand. It's pretty. That tied the game in the first 5.5 minutes of the matchup. But Cheyenne would get another of these kind of different goals. A puck that bounces off a stick. It drew Corinta onto a bad spot, and Aiden Brevick comes up with just kind of, or Brett Vick, I should say, with kind of a effort goal right in front of the net, and that made it a 2-1 game for West Fargo Cheyenne. So there were a couple of bounces there, Rhino, that really made the difference for West Fargo Cheyenne, and that's what has put them in a spot right now where they have that 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, the second one is what it is, right? Just a hard work goal from Bredvik. The first one is just one that, I don't know. Did it hit something on the way in? Did it change direction?
It hit a body. I could tell that it hit a body. Whether it hit a stick or not, I'm not sure.
Because it was not a hard shot, and Corinta just completely misjudged it, or else it hit something and kind of changed trajectory.
That's what I think happened.
The more I watch it, I'm like, that's got to be what happened, right?
I believe that it was something that I wouldn't say he misjudged. I think he had it judged. It took a little different angle. The difference, though, is that it didn't go right to the net. That's why it looked a little different there, is that it kind of hung out, took a drop to a spot where maybe you wouldn't expect it to go. But credit West Fargo Cheyenne for being alert and coming in and making that play, and then Brevik just staying with it because, I mean, he had to dig and scratch and claw in front of that net the entire time to get an opportunity to keep fighting that puck towards the goal line.
Yeah, it was a great effort goal. But again, if you're Red River this whole period, Ryan, I mean, shots are 13-3. Most of the play was in your end. to me, it already looks like West Fargo or Cheyenne's defensemen are starting to drag a little bit based on how this game has gone. So I think if you're Red River, I mean, you stay on this path. You're doing the right things. Again, a couple of bounces don't go your way, but it feels like this is Red River's game to lose here.
Well, they certainly have 2 periods left to go and plenty of time, but I guess if I'm Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Rough Riders in that locker room, I'm going to get a little bit urgent here because the physicality caught up with them in that first period.
It sure did, and as we've talked about, this isn't exactly the most high-flying offensive team, even outside of the 7-0 game we talked about to start the show. But you know, goals are hard to come by, and you have a goalie who's hot and who's really good.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden it's like, okay, 1 goal, yeah, but what if you get another bounce? Now you're down 2. Now all of a sudden.
Yep. It hasn't been more than a 1-goal lead tonight, and that's maybe been something that Grand Forks Red River can say they're a bit fortunate in to have that situation going their way. So anybody's hockey matchup tonight, it's just been a good matchup to say the least so far this evening. Our intermission report, again brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We will come back with Who Lit the Lamp, our scoring summary, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. Our coverage of high school hockey continues after this on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com. Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports tonight. We are at I was going to say it again. I got used to being over there back on Saturday. We're at Blue Line Iceplex tonight, formerly known as Eagles Arena this evening. And tonight we've got a matchup between the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders and the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. And right now it's the Mustangs, the 2-1 lead over Grand Forks Red River. All True scoreboard update brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. We've got 3-1 Central over Fargo Davies at this point. We're keeping an eye on that one tonight.
Yeah, and the second line for Central is doing all the damage. So Rylan Spicer's got 2 goals and an assist. He had a hat trick the night against Devil's Lake. Nolan Marto's got a goal and 2 assists. So it's the second line tonight. Marto, Spicer, Walkenfuss that are killing it.
They're getting it done over at Grand Forks Central. Yeah. And that's over at Purpur Arena this evening. And we have that matchup on KNOX Live Sports as well. Again, you can search it out on KNOX TV on YouTube or find it on our website, knoxradio.com. Let's take a look at who lit the lamp and the scoring summary that we have in this one tonight with West Fargo Sheyenne leading Grand Forks Red River 2-1. Who lit the lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. For Grand Forks Red River, another goal for Caden Ulmer, and it came on the power play, and it was an unassisted goal. Ulmer all alone. The time of the goal at 5 minutes and 22 seconds that tied the game at 1 apiece at that point. That is his 6th goal of the season, and he's now the first Rough Rider to 10 points on the year. But the Mustangs are on the board twice, and guess what? We talked about their defenders being part of the offensive end. 2 points tonight for Mikhail Alexandrovich. He scores the opening goal tonight at 2:37 and then assists on Avon Bredvik's goal that gave the Mustangs the lead back at 11:33. It's Alexandrovich from Tanner Peterson at 2:37 and Avon Bredvik from Bennett Benson and Alexandrovich at 11:33. And the Mustangs have a 2-1 lead. So 2 points tonight for defender Mikhail Alexandrovich. That's his first goal and his first assist of the season. So they're finding some balance. And Avon Bredvik has his 3rd goal of the season for West Fargo Sheyenne to make it a 2-1 matchup for the Mustangs. And that is Who Lit the Lamp tonight. And Who Lit the Lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Well, we've got a matchup over at Purpur Arena. Coming up tomorrow night, we've got basketball for the first time this season. The Mandan Braves. I guess I can still say that one. They come to town coming up tomorrow to take on the Red River Rough Riders in a girls and boys doubleheader. We'll have it for you from Red River High School, and the tip-off is at 5:30 in that one. They've experimented with 5:45 before. It does not work, okay? Let's just go ahead and say it doesn't work, okay? So 5:30 is the start for the girls, the boys to follow. And then on Saturday, a new opponent for East Grand Forks in hockey, Cloquet, comes to town to take on the Green Wave on Saturday afternoon over at East Grand Forks Civic Center Arena. And we'll have that matchup for you on KNOX Live Sports as well. The pregame report will start on that one at about 1:30, and it will be a 2 o'clock face-off coming up over at Civic Center Arena. So, Ryan, it seems like we're getting awfully busy all of a sudden, huh?
We got a big UND football game on Saturday, too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Don't forget about that one.
Worth mentioning that.
Winnable game, I think, Ryan. I don't want to jinx anything. Winnable game for UND.
I would think they're all winnable until
the semis.
Well, yeah, and that's probably still winnable. Remember, they were right in the ballpark with.
Well, they might have had their chance.
Yeah, I'm not ready.
You can poke the bear, and the second time you get them, they might be ready for you.
Absolutely. 2-1 in favor of West Fargo Sheyenne, and we'll have period number 2 of hockey coming up next. That's been our intermission report, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. Second period is on the way next.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
All right, let's play period number 2. At the end of 1, your score on the All True scoreboard is 2-1 West Fargo Cheyenne. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. So we'll see if Red River has done enough to try to wear down some of that defensive thinness, we might say, for West Fargo Cheyenne. You know, the thing is, Ryan, if you're going to play 4D, like you've talked about tonight with them, and you're also going to play Cheyenne's style of ultra-physical hockey, you kind of almost take a wear on yourself without the other team having to get too involved at that point, right? I mean, that becomes a toll.
It's true, but this is a well-conditioned Cheyenne team. So I had the privilege of coaching with Dave Benson this year.
Yes.
For Team North Dakota, so I got to know him well. And just hearing like their off-season workouts, I mean, it is weightlifting, it is running, it's intense, and he's an intense guy, and he ran a few of our practices. We don't practice much, but his practices are hard. So these guys are in shape.
Sure. Well, and they looked every bit the part. Like, they were ready to go. They were ready to get physical. There was one point of the game where the Rough Riders really had a lot of offensive zone time, and in general, Red River had a lot of offensive zone time in that first period, but still not quite the puck luck. And you know, one thing that Cheyenne did well in the first period, as we get started with period number 2, that we didn't really talk about, is when they got back on the back check, they went to the slot and clogged it up. They know how to do that.
Yeah, they did. They know exactly where to be, and there was a few block shots there. And
Cullen Ross deals out another hit. Stetson Brown, puck back in the Red River end, and whiff on a shot from the right point by Yistabo. Yistabo gets it back, tries to make another shot, got a stick pick, turned it back down to the doorstep again, trying to find Bredvik, and that ends up being knocked to the corner. A loose puck over there. Rylan Edmond comes up with it. Now a touchback to center. Here comes Caden Ulmer, and this is 3-on-2 Red River. Ulmer up the ice, dropping one off. A look, and Cullen Ross with a chance that goes wide. Ulmer back over to pick up the rebound, turns it back to Hoganson behind the net, back out in front, and Stetson Brown with a backhander that's missed wide. Another opportunity there for Red River. That time they opened up some ice, but didn't have the luck to put the shot on net.
Yeah, a couple good rushes there by Red River and a couple good chances, but Fitzpatrick there again. We have offsides, it looks like.
Yep, Riders will be offside. We'll bring it out onto the Cheyenne line to draw with 15:56 to play here in the second period. Coverage brought to you tonight by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. The PS stands for Peaceful Season, and they want to wish all of you a peaceful season during this holiday run-up from PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devils Lake.
I don't know if you noticed on that last rush by Caden Ulmer, it was Charlie Yesbo taking him back one-on-one, and he gave him plenty of room in front of him. He wasn't getting beat wide by Mr. Ulmer. Speed.
Well, you'll make that mistake once, and then you'll hear about it when you come to the bench, and you won't make that mistake again. And now we have an icing call against West Fargo Cheyenne, and that's going to bring us back into the Mustang zone.
But I'll tell you what, that's what that speed does for Caden Ulmer. Because of that speed, that gap is huge. It allowed Caden Ulmer to hit the zone, come to the middle of the ice. He had a shot option. He had a back pass option, which he took to Ross and opened up Ross. So that's what it does when you're fast like that.
Riders try to win a draw. The puck goes to the wall. Comes back off, and Red River able to take some control of it. Quick shot off the right that got blocked. That shot coming in from Blaze Newbert, and now another whistle.
We're having coincidentals, it looks like.
Well, let's see who the guilty parties are going to be.
Frith
I think we got a pair of 18s. Yep, Mason Breno for Red River and Easton Frith. And they're going to be summoned into a place where they're going to cool off for a while. We'll skate 5-on-5.
Or yell at each other through the opening in the penalty box. One of the two.
That's always fun, yeah. And that's usually what happens.
Almost always what happens.
We'll draw it to the left of Cruz Fitzpatrick in the Cheyenne zone, and this one gets started. a little awkwardly, so we'll throw it down again. Bennett Benson almost incredulous that he's got to give the puck back to the official. He was ready to go up the ice all by himself. And now Benson versus Caden Ulmer for another draw. This time the Riders win it. Stetson Brown taking it along the right side wall. He'll work into the corner, left it back behind the net for Griffin Hoganson. Hoganson charges to it, has it poked loose, out to the point. Quick shot up and over the bar. That's a good shot from Brody Lucier. Ends up over the bar. Fitzpatrick took the glove after it, but came up empty. Puck's in the corner. One of the Riders is on the ice, looking to get up. Now we've got a big hit on the back of it. Yistabo turned it in. Hoganson wrap around with the backhand. Fitzpatrick puts the glove on top of that, and we'll draw again coming up in the Cheyenne zone.
Boy, when Griff Hoganson gets the puck around the net, he's a lot to handle, Ryan. I mean, the size, the reach, the power, he can just kind of muscle his way to the net, get something on net. You never know what's going to happen.
We'll draw to the right to Fitzpatrick this time. And once again, it's Bennett Benson. Oh, Griff Hoganson takes the draw this time. And it pops back out on top. Drive by Brody Lucier, that's wide. Puck will go loose into the Cheyenne zone, and they play it up into the Red River bench.
I'll tell you what, Red River's been really good on faceoffs tonight. I mean, I came into this game, Bennett Benson, who's taken a lot of these draws, is a pretty high percentage guy from what I've seen, and Red River's kind of taking it to Cheyenne in the faceoff department.
2-1 your score. About the only department where Red River is behind is the scoreboard right now. They've done a lot of things well tonight against this Cheyenne team, but the Mustangs have muscled in a couple of goals and have a 1-goal lead. Puck sent back up ice by Wyatt Madsen, icing.
Yeah, he was about 2 steps short. Sometimes they give you that extra couple feet, but tight lines tonight.
And back we go. Connor McCarty is one of our referees tonight. I like Connor. I met him a long time ago.
Is that long hair or not long hair?
Long hair.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yep. We were talking a lot about Billy the Kid. He's a Billy the Kid fan because his last name is McCarty, and that was one of Billy Kid's many last names. Caden Ulmer. Well, he had quite a few of them. There was Antrim, and there was a couple of other ones out there. Roberts. You do what you can when you're in trouble. Here's a loose puck. Stetson Brown down to a knee with a one-timer that's knocked wide. Loose puck into the corner for Oliver Lashovsky. Oh. He got it to the wall, and Hoganson laid a hit. Loose puck intended to come back to Stetson Brown from Caden Ulmer. Ends up wide to the wall, but Ulmer will try to chase it down against Yistabo. And the puck comes back towards the near boards. Mustangs over to pick it up. Breakout to Bennett Benson. He gets defended. Loose puck back to the right, and a shot blocked. Rylan Corinta's way out in the corner. The net's empty. Corinta trying to get back. Wraparound that gets deflected loose that time from Benson. And how Red River did not give up a goal in that set of circumstances is unbelievable.
I mean, Rylan Corinta was 12 feet out of the net and not on his feet.
No. And he had to somehow get up and get back, and the Riders alertly defended a loose net, or an empty net. In the meantime, Benson shovels a wrister away. That's up and wide. Rebound comes all the way back out into the neutral zone. A battle for control of it against the near side wall. That will come back in towards the right, and is picked up by Charlie Yistabo. Yistabo comes back out to center ice. Loose puck picked up there by Thor Seeger. Seeger coming up is able to find Chase Kulka. Third liners coming out for Red River, and Kulka will dump this back up into the offensive end. Rotates back loose towards the right, picked up on the right side for Kellen Schauer, who's a fourth liner for West Fargo Cheyenne. Loose puck taken up by Svoboda for Red River. Svoboda coming back up into the corner, turned it back behind the net. Puck goes loose back out to the point. Taken there by Kulka. He'll drop it back into the corner as Hoganson comes out to lead a change, but this is deflected by the Mustangs back into the Red River zone. Svoboda back to get to it with 13 minutes to play. Second period, Cheyenne leading by a score of 2-1. Hoganson takes a huge hit right at center ice. Lit up by Yistabo. Puck is rubbed loose. It'll be dumped back into the Red River end. Svoboda back to get to it.
That is a massive hit, Ryan. That one hurt me.
It spun a very tall and big Griffin Hoganson all the way around in the air. And Mikhail Alexandrovich comes back onto the ice to take control for the Mustangs. Short-sided chance out of the corner from Hoganson. Ends up going wide. Cullen Ross back to pick it up for the Rough Riders. Off the near side wall. He'll float it back up into the Mustang zone. Down to an E. We'll see Fitzpatrick play this back into the neutral zone. Bredvik looking for a touch for the Mustangs, but behind him, Cullen Ross will pick it up and turn it back to the neutral zone for Red River. Now puck goes loose to center again. Cale Gruenberg coming in on it. Just beaten to the spot by Bredvik. Loose puck back to the point, ends up angling in a strange way that took a Mustang off his skates. To the point, Rylan Edmond will dump it in behind the net. And the loose puck gathered by Cruz Fitzpatrick, then left behind. He's got to step behind the net with pressure from Red River just to play the puck to the wall, and the Riders get to it on the right.
A little bit of a miscommunication.
Cheyenne will clear. That'll send us back up into the neutral zone, and that's going to bring us to a media timeout that both teams probably need right now. 11:53 to play, second period. Your score on the All True scoreboard, the Mustangs 2, the Rough Riders 1. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Media stoppage. Let's give you a vegan construction game look-in tonight, brought to you by Vegan Construction. Designers, builders, engineers in Grand Forks. Quality work for nearly a century. Opening goal for Mikhail Alexandrovich. He assists on Avon Rudvik's goal. Caden Ulmer scores on the power play for Red River in the middle. But it's 2-1 West Fargo Cheyenne, and a hard-fought matchup between the Rough Riders and the Mustangs tonight. And that's a Vegan Construction game look-in. Cullen Rost driving one towards the slot off the draw in the West Fargo Cheyenne zone. Mustangs get to it, then break out with Taylor Zander. Zander off the right wing. Poke checked off his stick. Good play by Rylan Edmond. Turns it up into the neutral zone. Brown finding his way to Caden Ulmer. Back to Brown, left point. Wrister blocks. Loose puck taken back by Yistabo. Just getting back defensively. Yistabo making a small play look really big as that took a shot away.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as this game goes on and West Fargo keeps hitting and keeps blocking shots, they're starting to feel it, and you kind of feel the momentum a little bit, can't you?
Well, I thought early Red River was kind of back on their heels and then took control of the game, at least with pace. But here in this second period, there really hasn't been a clear advantage in pace.
Well, and it's not even maybe the advantage of who's playing better or who's controlling the game. It's more of just West Fargo starting to kind of buy into
the results.
Yeah, we got to hit. We got to block shots. We got to do all those dirty things. That's kind of what I'm seeing from West Fargo right now. It's a little permeating throughout the bench a little bit.
We'll see a draw to the right of Rylan Corinta in the Grand Forks Red River zone, and the draw is picked up by Brody Lucier for the Rough Riders. On the left side, Lucier trying to play it up the wall. The touch from Cale Gruenberg. This will end up back into the West Fargo Cheyenne zone. Gruenberg coming all the way back out to the right point to track it down. Deflected off his stick. Loose puck to Brecken Hultberg. Hultberg sent it through traffic. Yistabo off for West Fargo Cheyenne. A pass off the far wall. A slip. The puck goes to the right side. Landon Sock comes away with it. Turns it back to the far boards. This will be played back into the corner again. And Lucier with another touch for the Rough Riders. Now the Mustangs get into the offensive zone. Back out to the right. And Yistabo dekes out a man. Lashovsky takes a pass on the left point. He'll back away from traffic. Sends one down the wall. Picked up behind the net and turned over. Riders get to it, and we'll see a pitch in the air coming from Blaze Newbert. That'll flop back in the Cheyenne end. It's about a picture-perfect pitch by Newbert, just putting that right where it needed to go.
That was great.
Loose puck along the far boards. Riders come up with Thor Seeger, taking on three different Mustangs. Cheyenne will pitch one up into the crowd that hit a cheerleader.
Oh, boy.
We have a cheerleader that's hurt. Somebody get the all-true trainer.
Okay,
no, she's laughing. She's not crying, right?
She might be doing both. She might be laugh crying. I'm not sure.
No, she's fine. That smile's genuine. 10:07 left to go in the second period. Nothing in the net so far here in period number 2.
By the way, quick shout out to some of the figure skating guy. That's Addison Ledeke was the cheerleader in question there.
Oh, is that Brody's sister?
Yes. Recently passed. This is a figure skating deal. Oh, she actually is hurt.
Oh, wow.
Recently passed her gold medal. She's now a 4-time gold medalist in this testing thing that figure skaters do. So congrats to Miss Ledeke.
Well, she's gonna go off for repairs. They're taking her off. Puck on the right side wall. Tanner Peterson up for West Fargo Cheyenne. Turns it back behind the Red River net. Mustangs got some traffic in front. Couldn't hold on to the puck. It comes back to Chase Kulka for the Rough Riders. Polka up the ice. He's got a man on his left in the form of Kyler Beedall. Beedall looking for the puck back behind the net. It goes loose, and now we see a whistle. As I'll see a cover from Fitzpatrick. Well, we hope Miss Ledecky is okay. They were kind of holding. I think she got startled more than anything. Kind of hit her in the back shoulder. Right the back of the left shoulder.
They're looking at kind of the head area now. I can kind of see from across her. She'll be fine. She's a tough girl. Oh.
Not going into concussion protocol, is she?
She might be going the blue tent.
Oh, jeez. Cullen Ross back in the neutral zone for Red River. Blasts one wide of the net. Loose puck to Stetson Brown. Brown stepping in, trying to find Griffin Hoganson. Hoganson pulled away from a play. Riders want a penalty. They're going to get one. Another from Bennett Benson. Another power play opportunity coming up for Grand Forks Red River. Is Bennett Benson, I believe, going to take a holding call here. And the Riders will go on the power play. No, it's going to be a hooking call. But it should be Benson that gets the penalty.
And this is just a huge opportunity for Red River. I mean, we're 16-4, so I mean, through half this period, Red River's only got 3 shots on net from where they're at.
Cheyenne is only a 4 for the game. And they have the lead.
But they have the lead.
That's the difference. Bennett Benson for hooking at 7:36. Riders on the power play brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, online, RBBelectric.com. Hoganson, a stop-and-go shot, got in on Fitzpatrick. Down
wow,
to the
what a
doorstep.
save.
Ross tried to
What a
kick one
save.
in, and Fitzpatrick dove back to his glove side to take that one away. Back to Hoganson, left point. Haltberg, high slot, looking into traffic, deflected and cleared. Yistabo will send it up the ice.
Oh, Ryan, don't let him get hot, but I think he's already there.
Oh, boy, a turnover, and here comes a chance from the right side for Wyatt Matson. Riders give up a shot on an errant pass. This will come back out to the left for Hoganson. And Hoganson will dump it back down to the offensive end. Fitzpatrick's there chasing a puck around, and he'll clear it out of his own end.
Quite the weapon to have. If you're Red River, you have to know that you can't dump that puck behind the net and let Fitzpatrick, because he's just going to dump it right back out of the zone. It's got to be in the corner or carried in.
Hoganson steps up in the offensive end. He'll look down to the far corner for Caden Ulmer. That's bladed back to Hoganson. He'll come to a stop. Haltberg, high slot, closing back right side. Rost looking to go rink wide, found Ulmer out of the corner. 50 seconds left of the RBB Electric power play. Haltberg, high slot again. Into traffic, he scores! Brecken Haltberg with a wrister from the high slot. All kinds of traffic screening in front of Cruz Fitzpatrick. He couldn't find it. And the Riders will tie it at 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, as soon as that left Haltberg stick, I think we both knew that was in. Cruz was down, couldn't find the puck. I don't know if he saw even the shot come off Haltberg's stick.
There's no way he saw it.
He was just guessing at this point.
On the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, you're going to see a Rough Rider go right in front of Fitzpatrick as this puck comes out to Haltberg. There's Haltberg in the high slot, and there's the screen right in front of him. And Brecken Haltberg comes up with a power play goal, the second of the night for Grand Forks Red River to tie the game at 2, and it happens at 8:50 of the second period.
Boy, I couldn't even tell on that. But who was the rider out front? What a great screen that one. That's perfect.
Didn't see, but obviously a great play to take the eyes of the goalie away. And that's what you have to do when you got a hot goaltender. Don't let him see the puck. If he can stop what he can see, sometimes it's harder to stop what you can't see. There's a chance from Haltberg that ricochets off of Yistabo, goes in on net, and then a puck is thrown all the way up onto the concourse on the far side of the arena. That got over the net, didn't it?
It missed the net, but it hit. Okay. There's 2 people in an open seat and a person, and it hit the open seat. Otherwise, we might have had another bystander out in the concussion tent.
I wouldn't sit in the seats tonight, folks. Go to the bleachers over here behind the net. Stand on the wall outside of the ice. We're tied at 2. And a puck won by Red River and a shot right away coming from Stetson Brown off the left wall that's deflected. This comes back into the neutral zone. Brecken Haltberg starting to get some good touches now in this second. He had a shot a moment ago. He scored the goal, obviously, and now Fitzpatrick will put a glove on a puck and will draw again coming up in the Cheyenne zone. Still tied at 2 on the All-True scoreboard.
Well, that's what we came to expect from Brecken Haltberg, right, is that play. We saw it so many times last year, especially late in the year, just kind of walking the blue line, waiting for everything to kind of line up, and then throwing that wrist shot on net, finding a hole, getting it through, and it ends up in the back of the net.
Wyatt Leduc. We'll always talk about him. Caden Ulmer takes control of a draw. Stetson Brown spins one in over the bar. We're tied at 2 with 7.5 to play in the second period. Stetson Brown coming back off towards the left wall, plays this back out to the point. Edmond into traffic. Knocked down in front of Fitzpatrick. Picked up, back by Stetson Brown, high slot. He'll find Cullen Ross. Ross trying to drive one in, deflected into the Red River bench. And we'll draw again on the Cheyenne zone. Our draw is brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. And brought to you as well by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region.
I like that play by Cullen Ross, kind of move along the blue line there, but I think if he goes back middle, he had Ryland Edmond wide open in the middle of the ice. Cheyenne just kind of forgot about him, but puck deflected out instead.
Hoganson in the corner, back off to Ross, but deflected loose, and the Mustangs tried to break out with it. Bredvik was at center ice. Couldn't quite hold the puck. This will work back to Edmond for the Rough Riders. He dribbles one through neutral ice. No one can catch up to it. Caleb Adringa got a stick on it, and another puck out of play. We'll draw on the Cheyenne line here in the second period.
A lot of pucks out of play tonight.
Well, now you start to see the momentum of the game shift again, right? Now it seems like Cheyenne's a little on their heels against Red River.
Yeah, I think that goal kind of gives Red River a little bit of life. Like, okay, now we're even.
Yeah.
Now we go ahead and get the lead now.
Shots are 21-5, Grand Forks, Red River. 21-5. A draw is won by Red River's Thor Seeger. Comes off the boards. Alex McDonald will send it down the ice. Goes loose to the corner as McDonald gave chase. And will be battled for along the right side wall. Pair of riders, pair of Mustangs there looking for control deep in the corner. While the rest of the squad stand around, someone's over there directing traffic. Puck comes back out in front. Here comes a tripping call. A shot comes in on Fitzpatrick. He'll touch it up. Caden Benke got the shot away and was tripped up in the process. And the Mustangs are going back to the box, and it may be Yistabo that's going to take the penalty.
It is, and I think his argument was he wanted maybe a hand pass or a carry on Caden Benke, who kind of grabbed it, took a step, dropped the puck, and then was taken down. But that's what they're arguing about right below us here. He said he dropped it right away.
Yeah, well, that was a trip. I mean, you could just see it.
It was a trip. He might have an argument on the carry, but
yeah, but that might not have been seen up first, right? Hoganson puts one in on net. Fitzpatrick covers it up, and an extra hit from Alexandrovich, knocking down Hoganson. And we'll draw 4 seconds into the power play. Power play brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online. RBBElectric.com. We draw again in the left circle of the West Fargo Cheyenne zone. Mustangs trying to clear onto a dasher. Brecken Holtberg backing up into the neutral zone. Riders look to gain the offensive end. It'll come off the right side and rolled back through, just kind of rimmed out to the far side and evades Griffin Hoganson's stick. Hoganson steps back to take a pass from Holtberg and dumps it in once more. Fitzpatrick out of the net, trying to play one out, deflected up into the webbing. And let's see where this, now we're going to see another player taken off the ice. We're going to see a penalty against Red River. They're going to give back a slashing call coming up against Red River. So a penalty against Griffin Hoganson, maybe a frustration call. We're going to skate 4-on-4.
Yeah, Bennett Benson hammered him against the wall kind of after he dumped the puck in. Not a late hit or anything. I just don't think Griff liked getting hit when he didn't have the puck, and he kind of swung back a little bit. And just like I said, Bennett Benson skated right over to tell him all about it. Now he shoves somebody else on the ice. That kid's a menace out there.
Well, it's 4-on-4. The dynamics of the game change greatly when it's 4-on-4. And we'll see who comes up with the advantage here as the puck goes loose. Shot in on Corinta, that's blocked. The shot was taken off the left by Oliver Lashovsky, and it's back down the corner. Matson trying to dig it up for the Mustangs back behind the net. This works out to Alexandrovich. His chance got past Corinta, but ends up deflecting wide. It's loose along the boards as Holtberg tries to fight it up into the neutral zone. Turned back to the near side for Alexandrovich and goes loose into the Cheyenne zone. A charge by Caden Ulmer came up empty. Holtberg will come up with it for the Rough Riders. He's hit by Benson. Left along the wall, Gruenberg dumps it in. Holtberg directs one back to Caden Ulmer, who couldn't get on the ice fast enough. It popped up into the gut, and Oliver Lashovsky will send it back into the neutral zone. 40 seconds left of 4-on-4 skating. 5:10 remaining in the period. We're tied at 2 on the all-true scoreboard. Long stretch pass from the Mustangs. And a hook of a stick on the far side, keeping Wyatt Matson where he can go. Now his stick's completely gone. In the meantime, Mason Breno comes up the ice. He tries a chance that's blocked on the far edge. That was blocked away by Lashovsky. Back out to the far corner. Breno charging in. Out for
big
Cullen
save.
Ross to the kick save by Cruz Fitzpatrick as that one got in deep without a lot of velocity, but he still had to find it. Now it's a 2-on-1 odd man the other way and a score off the right side for Avon Bredvik. They break out 4-on-4 with a 2-on-1 odd man rush, and the Mustangs reclaim the lead at 3-2.
Yeah, not much you can do there for Corinth. That's just a great rush by Sheyenne. I mean, they catch Red River kind of cheating down low. Bennett Benson slides one across to Bredvik, who just snaps one short side. Great shot.
Let's take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And like you mentioned, they had 3 men down. I think they forgot it was 4-on-4. Benson, Bredvik up the ice. Easy bar down on the odd man rush. And Grand Forks Red River gives another one back. It's 3-2. The Mustangs answer again. Will remain 4-on-4 as the goal was at even strength. So with 4:39 left of the second period, we're still at 4-on-4.
So Sheyenne will get about 30 seconds of power play if they can set something up quick.
And Tanner Peterson wins the draw and steps up into the Red River zone. Well, you get the idea now that the next goal in this one is absolutely huge. Riders go down 2. They're in some trouble the way this one is played out. Loose puck back into the neutral zone, played down the wall at the near side by Brody Lucier. And it looks like an icing call. Or do we see one deflect out of play? It looks like that's the case.
Out of play.
Yeah. So now we will see the power play for West Fargo Sheyenne step in with 21 seconds left to go of the second, or rather of the power play. 4:24 left to go of the period. Caden Ulmer will take the draw against Bennett Benson. And the Mustangs will win it with Oliver Lashovsky taking control. He goes back over to the right for Yistabo. Correction, not Yistabo. Yeah, Yistabo. He's back out there as the power play commences. And here's a chance in on Corinta from Benson, and Corinta makes a nice save.
Yeah, really hard shot. Benny can shoot it, and he shot one there, but good job of Corinta just getting outside of his crease a little bit, cutting away the angle, taking away angles, and making an easy save.
3 goals on 7 shots tonight for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Yeah, one iffy one kind of and then one's like, well,
that's 2 on 1
breakaway.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll draw it to the left of the Rider goalie, Rylan Corinta. We've got a whistle before the draw. 4:12 left of the period. Rider still on penalty kill for 10 seconds. Bennett Benson will take the draw. Got started way early. Now he wins it though, and it comes back out high, dribbles back into the neutral zone, and a retreat by Wyatt Matson that should just about run out the power play clock. So the Riders will get back to full strength. West Fargo Cheyenne scores 4-on-4, and a snapper by Brody Lucier that's deflected up into the webbing. And we'll see a draw coming up, and that should bring us to the media stoppage with 3:56 left to go in the second period. Media timeout here at Blue Line Iceplex in Grand Forks. The Mustangs 3, the Riders 2. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and 4-Inch Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for 2.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
3-2 your score, West Fargo Cheyenne. Timeouts brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. And brought to you tonight as well by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Want to remind you that our coverage of high school hockey throughout the season is brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devil's Lake, where the PS stands for Peaceful Season at PS Garage Doors. Riders trailing by a score of 3-2. They've never led tonight. West Fargo Cheyenne scores the first and answers each time as the Riders have tied it up. Puck goes loose towards the left side, and it's picked up off the far edge by Brown, who has a shot deflected back towards his own goalie. Now Bennett Benson from the point blasts one in. It's open.
Big save.
Couple of big
Goal.
saves for Corinta, and a score off the right side for the Mustangs to make it a 4-2 lead. I'm not sure who's going to get credit for it.
I think it's Taylor Zander scored.
Zander was there. Madsen was digging away at it, but that will change the complexion of the game greatly as the Mustangs go up 4-2. Let's take a look at it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is just a hammer off the right side, and it got in on Corinta. The rebound got behind him, and there were 2 men on each post to come up with something to kind of dig away at the rebound. That's just gritty area. And all of a sudden, the Riders are down 2 goals with 3:37 to play in the second period.
Starts with a big shot by Bennett Benson, just turned around through our net, and Corinta, to his credit, made a huge save, but had to go down and was essentially out of the play. And West Fargo just out muscles Red River in the blue paint and slides one in.
So now all of a sudden, it's a 2-goal lead for the first time tonight. West Fargo Cheyenne leads by 2 over Grand Forks Red River, and we'll see how the Riders respond as the goal's on the board, and we'll wait to see who gets credit for it. We believe it's going to be Benson.
Should be Zander.
Or was it Zander that gets the goal?
Zander from Benson, I believe.
We'll wait and see what it's going to be. There might have been a touch in there as well for West Fargo Cheyenne from Wyatt Matson as well. He was around the net also. But it's 4-2 in favor of Cheyenne. Puck picked off at center ice, and here comes Cale Gruenberg on a rush. And offside will be the call against Grand Forks Red River.
Yeah, down 2, a hot goalie, you get a rush like that, Ryan. That is just a mistake that Red River cannot make. They just go off sides, not gain the blue line and trying to go east to west. I mean, yeah, you got 3 minutes left in this period. If you go into period 3 down 2, you're not feeling very good in that Red River locker room.
No, not at all. That becomes a problem at that point. And with the clock under 3 minutes to play in the second period, you kind of feel like there's some urgency now for the Rough Riders to try to get one back here in this moment.
Yeah, and you're looking at Cheyenne, who just seemed really content to just kind of chop this game up, muck it up a little bit, kill any flow that Red River has. I mean, pucks over the glass aren't a bad thing. Faceoffs aren't a bad thing. Give your guys a chance to breathe.
Well, it's 23-10 shots on goal as well. It's worth mentioning that the Riders have had some opportunities that they haven't really executed on. Hoganson picking up the puck in the right corner, turns it back towards the net, picked up by Caden Ulmer. Back to Hoganson, who will step away from traffic. Off towards the left, shot into traffic again. It goes loose and will be blocked back out to the neutral zone where it's 1 on the far side for the Mustangs. And a play coming up the ice, finding its way to Easton Brown, one of those 4 defenders that we talked about earlier tonight. They've done an amazing job for being short-staffed. Hoganson into the neutral zone, stepping through some traffic, corralled by 4 different Mustangs. Puck goes loose to the high slot, picked away. Edmond feeding down to the corner for Caden Ulmer. Ulmer turns it back to Cullen Rost on the left point. Lost a chance in the traffic. Cruz Fitzpatrick's there to make another glove save.
Hard shot by Cullen Rost, and that one Fitzpatrick did see. He tracked it the whole way and shot it right into his glove.
Yeah, no chance to take his eyes away on that one. Cheyenne has just been so active between their own circles tonight defensively. They allow you absolutely nothing as far as a shooting angle, open ice to run through. It's been a hard night for Red River to get openings all the way through.
True, but they just had, I don't even know what player it was for Red River, walks to the middle of the ice and he passed down low. He passed out of a high slot shot. It's like, you got to take shots now. I mean, everything's got to get to the net.
Thor Seeger on the right side, and a chance off the right from Kyler Beadall. Ends up back over to the far wall. Riders will play it back in as it worked back out in the neutral zone. Fitzpatrick holds it up behind the net, and now we've got a whistle on the far edge. What's this all about?
Offsides. I don't think they all tagged up at the right time. Kyler Beadall went in ahead of everybody else. And
looked like the Mustangs still had the puck, however. That was where I was confused. Riders will make a change, and they'll send their second unit out. Breno will take the draw. They put it down towards the right. This is picked up. Yistabo will turn it back into the neutral zone for the Mustangs. This will float back up in the Red River end. Icing again against West Fargo Cheyenne.
Like I said, they'll take these. They can get a change here. They can just deal with the face-off as
They've got an extra player out there tonight, too, that's not on their line sheet for West Fargo Cheyenne. Jenner Runsvold was out there on that shift, and we haven't seen him He was out there earlier, but he's not on the line sheet that we were sent tonight. So that was a new player, number 6, that was out there. 1:37 to play, second period. Mustangs leading by a score of 4-2. Puck played off the far wall, and an awkward try by Brody Lucier to hold on to an edge. Brecken Hultberg comes off towards the right and sends one down the boards. Flows back behind the Cheyenne net. Another play by Fitzpatrick into the near side corner. This will come back out into the neutral zone where another long race to get to it for Brody Lucier back behind the Red River net. Lucier being touched up from behind. It's played along the near side wall, sent back towards the net. Hultberg was there to pick it off. And here comes Red River looking for an opening. A pass off the boards. Gruenberg trying to find it. Goes loose to Hultberg. Hultberg gets knocked away. 1 minute to play in the period. Hultberg dribbles one through the crease all the way through. Gruenberg picks it up. Tries short-sided. They say no goal. Gruenberg thought he had scored, but they say no goal on it. Puck goes loose, and Yistabo will pitch this up into the ceiling where it hit a rafter. And we'll bring it back into the Cheyenne zone to draw.
I mean, we couldn't see from here because there were too many bodies, but at least one hand went up in the air for Red River like it went in the net.
Yeah, somebody thought they had scored. Gruenberg was right around it. And we'll draw again to the right of goaltender Cruz Fitzpatrick, who's made 22 stops tonight in 2 periods of play. Hoganson wins the draw. Caden Ulmer taking a look, widening out towards the right circle, trying to rush into the corner. Ulmer played it out in front, too strong for Stetson Brown to handle. Rims off the far wall, and Cullen Ross to go back to get it in his own end. 30 seconds to play in the period. Ross up the ice finding Ulmer. Now Hoganson. Hoganson has one steered off his stick. It'll come back to the line. Hultberg picks it up for the Rough Riders and comes back to center for Stetson Brown. Brown trying to play it off towards the right side wall. Alexandrovich back to get it. The puck is knocked out of play. That'll bring us back out for a draw with 13.8 seconds left of the period. Riders look to be destined to go into the locker room down 2.
So Alexandrovich scores a goal and an assist. You know, when he scored that goal, they grabbed the puck. That might have been his first goal. Then he followed up with another point after that.
Yeah, right after. Yeah, he had a very nice first period tonight for the Mustangs. Cullen Ross picks up a loose puck, plays one down the boards. Fitzpatrick's there, taking a look, being closed upon from behind. Puck rotates out towards the wall, and that's going to end period number 2. And West Fargo Cheyenne has got all kinds of momentum going into the second period. The Riders scored to tie it up at 2 apiece on a power play goal, but the Mustangs have scored 4 at even strength tonight, 3 5-on-5 and 1 4-on-4, and clearly have the momentum going into period number 3 by a score of 4-2 on the all-true scoreboard.
They got some momentum, they got some belief, they got some buy-in that what they're doing is working, and it is. They're taking advantage of the opportunities they get and doing a really good job of keeping the River off the board.
So we'll take a timeout, and we'll come back with more in a couple of moments as we continue with our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network at KNOX Live Sports. Our intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The Men of Steel and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water, is on the way next. And we'll come back, scoring summary, a couple of highlights that we had from that period, all standing by as we move into our intermission. Our coverage of high school hockey continues next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Also, Rock 95 via radio this evening as we continue along with our coverage of Grand Forks, Red River, and West Fargo, Sheyenne. And as we make our way to our second intermission, West Fargo, Sheyenne with a 4-2 lead over Grand Forks, Red River. Our coverage tonight and our halftime report brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Don't put it away broken. Get it repaired at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Broken shafts, twisted shafts, holes that need tightening. They have you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. And High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. A system with High Plains Water puts the taste in, gets the chemicals out of your water. Longer lasting appliances, no more scaly buildup. They have you covered at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here this evening. Cooper Freege has our videography work here tonight. Well, this is not exactly a surprise. However, West Fargo Sheyenne may be proving it to themselves. They're playing with the upper echelon of the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight. They've been physical, they've been fast, they've gummed up the works against Red River's offense, and right now it's working with a 4-2 lead for the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think they came in with a game plan tonight to do exactly what they're doing. I mean, maybe the discrepancy in shots wasn't part of that game plan, but sure. You're right. Be physical, muck up the front of the net, attack Red River's front of the net, get pucks to the net whenever they can, and they're kind of doing that. And now that they have a 2-goal lead with a hot goalie, Red River all of a sudden finds himself in a really tough spot. Like, I mean, even 1 goal feels hard right now. Now you got to get 2, and if you win it, you got to get 3. All while keeping Sheyenne off the board. Yeah, and that's going to be tough tonight as well. But when you mentioned Cruz Fitzpatrick, 22 saves through 2 periods tonight, it's not all about the way that the Sheyenne Mustangs have scored. They found some big stops from Cruz Fitzpatrick throughout the way tonight. We talked to him to start the game, and he's been sharp. I mean, 2 goals he's let in, 1 he didn't even see. The other one was a really great play by Caden Ulmer on a breakaway. But outside of that, I mean, he's been all over the place. He's had a couple huge stops. A couple that he scrambled for and made saves, but a lot of them have just been what you'd expect. He just makes them look easy. Yeah, he's done a lot of that tonight. Let's go ahead and get back to our highlights that we had from period number 2 here in the night tonight as we take a look at some of the key plays in this one. And our highlights tonight brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. And this will get started with the Riders scoring a goal to tie things up. They're on the power play, and Brecken Hultberg gets a screen out in front of Cruz Fitzpatrick, about the only way to take his eyes away tonight. But Hultberg scored in the power play to tie things up. But then we make our way to 4-on-4. The Riders get trapped down in the offensive zone. They give up the 2-on-1 odd man rush. And up the ice, it's a goal for Bredvik. That made it a 3-2 game in a 4-on-4 score. And then here's the gritty area goal. A puck getting through on Rylan Corrente. He tried to gather up the rebound. It was loose. There were 2 men, 1 on each pipe. We're still waiting for the official scoring on that. I believe we got it. But Grand Forks Red River ends up taking a 2-goal deficit. The Mustangs take a 2-goal lead by a score of 4-2. And that last goal that they had for West Fargo Sheyenne, I believe is going to be credited to Taylor Zander. We'll go through that on our scoring summary coming up here in a couple of moments when we get to Who Lit the Lamp, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. But yes, West Fargo Sheyenne scoring 4 tonight. They have played the game that they absolutely wanted to play tonight. And
when it comes down to what it takes to get back into something like this, Ryan, it's tough if you're in that locker room right now talking to your team, Tim Scarperud, because you have to come out and tell your guys that, you know what, this is still a game that we can go get. We need 2 goals. We've had all kinds of opportunities, but when you've got that hot goaltender that you're talking about, you can talk all you want to about opportunities. Right now, it's tough to find anything that makes its way to the net, much less gets in.
Well, Red River's going to have to be very intentional with what they do over this next 17 minutes. I mean, Sheyenne has shown that they're not afraid to ice the puck, throw it over the glass, chip it out, just zip the puck down the ice. So every turnover that Red River has in the offensive zone, it's not like you're going to get the puck back. That puck is gone. And so it kills your flow, it kills your momentum, it kills your secondary opportunities, it kills any opportunity to catch Sheyenne out of position because they're just going to throw it and take the draw. So you really have to be smart, but at the same time, you have to put everything you can on net and make sure you're getting some traffic in front of Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, they've had plenty of production tonight, but they're going to need a whole bunch more. Down 2 goals in the second. That's your intermission summary, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. When we come back, our scoring summary with Who Lit the Lamp in the second period, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. It's next. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to GrandForksWelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Tonight, we are at 4-2 Sheyenne over Red River with the third period about to commence. And boy, I'll tell you what, we're in for a couple of barn burners tonight, because on our all-true scoreboard update, Fargo Davies has tied the game with 2 straight goals against Grand Forks Central, and it's now 3 apiece between the Knights and the Eagles over at Purpur Arena. And I'll tell you what, it's been a long, long time since Sheyenne and Davies have come to Grand Forks and swept Central and Red River on the same night. That is a game. They're down to the final half minute over there.
Yeah, they're 20 seconds left. Central's putting some heat on here, but there's a clear, they scored goals about 45 seconds apart.
Wow.
2 power play goals on a major and a 5-on-3, so
well, Let's take a look at our scoring summary from the second period of this one with Who Lit the Lamp. And Who Lit the Lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. For Grand Forks Red River, Brecken Hultberg gets the lone goal. It was on the power play. Came at 8:50 of the period with an assist from Caden Ulmer and Griffin Hoganson. Hultberg scoring that tied the game at 2 apiece, but then back-to-back goals for West Fargo Cheyenne. Avon Bredvik towards his second goal of the night, assisted by Bennett Benson at 12:31. And then it was Tanner Zander, assisted by Lashovsky and Benson at 13:33. That gave West Fargo Cheyenne a 4-2 advantage. And for Bennett Benson, he's having a big night now. He assisted on Bredvik's goal in the first period and then picks up a couple of assists in that second period. And now is a 3-point night for West Fargo Cheyenne. You had talked about him being the guy, and he is. And that's your scoring summary with Who Lit the Lamp? Brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter.
I believe he had 4 points against Davies the other night, too. So that's 7 points.
He's racking them up.
5 periods.
Yeah. Well, they're in the final seconds. Well, they've reset the clock now, so we're using our clock over there, I believe. And it's still 3-3, at least at this point in that matchup that we can see. So.
Yeah, they're going through highlights now. I thought Davies just won it in the replay.
So they're in the post game. They're in the overtime session over there.
Yeah,
they're going to overtime at Purpur Arena tonight.
Overtime.
So overtime between Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Central. Boy, Grand Forks Central comes in with all the hype in the world, and it's been a struggle for them to pick up wins so far this year.
I mean, they were up. I mean, not that we've been watching that close. We're obviously here, but just kind of peaking at 3-1. It felt like they were in control early in that game, and just could never separate.
Well, now we'll see what Red River can do to try to dig back into this matchup. Down by a score of 4-2. And we see Griffin Hoganson ready to take a draw against Bennett Benson. The Riders have outshot West Fargo Cheyenne 24-10 here tonight. But the Mustangs have scored 4 goals on 10 shots. 4 goals on 10 shots. That's a tough number. And I believe we've got an issue with the ice here tonight, so we're going to let it cure up a little bit. Still some standing water out there, so we'll have a bit of a delay in getting started. So overtime tonight over at Purpur. Cheyenne leading by 2 here. I mean, I'll tell you what, this could be a seismic night in the Eastern Dakota Conference. I mean, already Davies going to take a point from Central tonight at minimum.
At minimum.
So that's a big deal, you know? That's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around all this. I'll tell you this, too. Let's get back to this one. I know for a fact that this game for Cheyenne means a lot. I can tell you this, Red River, that name is on the board in the Cheyenne locker room. They want this one bad.
Well, it's their first chance to play a Grand Forks team this year. And I think Cheyenne is one of those teams that gets up for the Grand Forks games.
100%
right?
they do.
Yeah, they believe in themselves and they play these games. And I think it's because they feel like they play differently, and they do. I mean, you can see tonight at times Red River has been uncomfortable with the physical play that the Mustangs have thrown at them tonight.
Yeah, they have. I mean, that's a good way to get a team off their game, is just keep coming at them. And we saw Griff Hoganson take a penalty just purely out of frustration. It's like, I don't want to hit anymore.
Yep. Hoganson versus Benson for the draw to start the third period. Riders are down 4-2 and need something to fire back into this matchup, down by a 2-goal margin. Hoganson carrying up the ice. Gruenberg is back on the first line now with Caden Ulmer and Griffin Hoganson. So Gruenberg joins his original line mates to come out there as they need to put some front line strength on here. A puck deflected back into the Red River zone. We'll see an icing call against the Mustangs. So we'll bring it back up with 21 seconds gone in the period.
And obviously, you know, if you're Red River, this is the line that has to do something. I mean, you're going to need somebody else to kind of chip in and at least keep the flow going, but this line is going to have to get at least one of these 2 goals here.
Bennett Benson will take the draw against Griffin Hoganson, and Caden Ulmer will pick up control for the Rough Riders. This behind the net, Hoganson trying to carry it out. Benson's with him step for step, turned him back into the wall. This will flow back into the neutral zone. Hultberg over to pick it up, found Brody Lucier. Lucier finding his way to Caden Ulmer, driving his way up into the offensive end. Ulmer reaching back after a loose puck, got it to Gruenberg. He fires off the post. Not sure if he hit a post or a crossbar. but he ends up hitting it. In the meantime, the puck back out to the neutral zone, and Taylor Zander coming up the ice to allow for a change for West Fargo Cheyenne, and the Riders have to go back and get a puck. So the Riders that close again. They've been snake bit to an extent. Almer back out there, leaves one off towards the right side, finding Mason Breno. Breno turns it back behind the net. Almer's on his way off the ice and talking the entire way with Advin Bredvik right in his back pocket while the puck's over on the other side of the rink. Ends up in the neutral zone. Loose puck off the left side for Caleb Adringa. He puts a shot in. Another rebound given up by Corinta. That came in awkwardly on Ryland again. I don't know if he's all that comfortable back there right now.
Yeah, nothing seems easy for him right now. I just don't know if he's seen the puck tonight, but I mean, that was a shot where the rebound went the absolute wrong way. That should have gone that way.
It came in, I think, right off the top of his blocker and ended up coming back out towards the left. Riders circle the puck back out to the neutral zone. Here comes a rough off the ice for Breno, and he left the puck behind. It'll be cleared by the Mustangs. This should be icing. And we'll go back into the West Fargo Cheyenne zone for a draw.
Coming with the third line here, I'm just curious with all these offensive zone draws and kind of broken up play, does Tim Scarpru just go real heavy with that Almer line down the stretch here?
Might have to. I mean, 3 big points on the line tonight in the region. They'll draw to the right of the goaltender for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. Fitzpatrick goes into the corner. Another big hit, but it took 2 Mustangs out of the play. Riders charge out in front, loose puck, and Fitzpatrick ends up putting a glove on top of one. That led to a hit from behind on Benke, and now we've got less cooler heads prevailing in this one. Benke took a hit from behind looking for a puck. I think one of the Mustangs took exception to Benke hanging out on top of the crease looking for a rebound. Benke didn't do anything nefarious, though, but he took a hit from behind, and apparently a Mustang and a Rough Rider are going to be escorted to the bin. We'll see Runsvold going off for West Fargo Cheyenne and Seeger going off for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, Benke took the hit, and then I think Seeger came in to sort of defend his line mate. And then we got what we got.
We got a lot.
A lot of arm swinging, but only one aside in the box.
Meanwhile, the Griffin Hoganson line will come back out for Grand Forks Red River. Bennett Benson is out there to meet Hoganson in the circle for the draw.
And I can almost guarantee you Benson's going to be out there every time this line is for the rest of this game.
Benson will go off. Hoganson trying to win control of the puck. He does. Gets it into the corner. Turns it back along the wall. Now drives his way back in. Put a shot in awkwardly. Hit the side of the cage. And then is played out. And Benson takes a hit on the end of that play that he didn't like. And I think it came from Ulmer. No, it came from Cale Gruenberg. Benson's talking to Gruenberg. Gruenberg's having none of it. Gruenberg's face mask is right in Benson's ear. Now Benson's talking to Gruenberg as he goes back to the circle. Gruenberg's still talking to Benson. Benson's still talking to Gruenberg. They're still talking to each other.
Now he's really talking to Gruenberg. Watch Gruenberg come right in on the draw to Benson. Oh,
puck comes back out to the high slot. We've got a penalty coming up.
And it's Benson.
And Benson's going to go into the box again. Let's see what this is going to be. Interference will be the call. And so the Riders are going back on the power play. Down by a score of 4-2. Both their goals have come on the man advantage tonight. And a golden opportunity for Red River to try to cut the lead in half with 14:49 to play in the third period.
Yeah, this was just right off the face-off. And obviously we've been talking to Gruenberg. He was a little worked up, but he went straight forward after Hoganson and gave him a shot, but then kind of dumped him. It was just that little bit extra that got him the penalty.
I didn't see what the call was for. Was it a rough? No, it was interference, right?
Yeah.
Interference. And looks like now we got a hole in the ice, so they're going to try to clean that up.
I think it's just blood. So
is that what it is?
Even better.
Yeah, Gruenberg came off checking under his face mask. So interference call against Benson. Comes at 2:11 of the third period. And the Riders are going on a power play where they desperately need to produce to try to make this a one-goal game.
Yeah, this is an opportunity that they just really need to take advantage. I mean, if nothing else, Ryan, just to kind of get this game back in control, because right now it's just kind of out there. No one's really taking the reins here.
Hoganson wins the draw, gets it back, and a shot that hit Cruz Fitzpatrick in the head. But Fitzpatrick get credited for the save. It'll come back to Hallberg out in the high slot. He'll find Hoganson, an alley to shoot, fires, and that one goes wide. And the rebound will carry him out of play.
Yeah, you can see what Red River's trying to do here. They're trying to almost just set up that same goal that they scored with Hallberg.
Yeah.
They're just working it up top. They're getting shots coming down. Looks like from Hoganson, it's kind of their go-to guy, and just putting traffic seeing if he can find a lane
Yep.
and get one through.
Try to block Fitzpatrick, take him out of the play, that kind of thing. 1:44 left in the Rider power play, brought to you by RBB Electric. Riders down 4-2 on the All-True scoreboard. Hoganson looking to win a puck. Comes back to Hultberg, then Hoganson will take it back. Sends it to the corner for Ulmer, and Hoganson again. Hultberg, high slot looking into traffic again. Fitzpatrick punches that one aside with a stick hand. Hoganson carries it in the corner. Ulmer charging down the goal line. Fires. Shot knocked loose. It's loose on the right pipe. Comes back out to the right point. Taken by Hultberg. Hoganson again. Back to Hultberg, high slot. Now off to Hoganson on the left. He'll fire again from distance, and it hit the pipe again. Hoganson hits the pipe on the right. Back out to Hultberg with a minute to play on the power play clock for Red River. A blocked shot. Brings it back to Hultberg on the left point. Hultberg starts into the circle, down to Ulmer, backhanding towards it, short-sided, picks up his own miss, carries it back towards the right corner, now circles his way back to the high slot and into the left circle and down to the corner again and plays it out in front. It will just be flailed away. Another block shot. Hoganson comes away with it in the right circle. He tries to sidestep a defender, turns it back to the point, nobody home. Hultberg will have to go back to get it in the neutral zone. Riders get out, get back up. Hultberg backhands into the corner. He'll be beaten to the spot by Alexandrovich, and a clear by West Fargo Cheyenne.
Yeah, Red River was having a ton of success by working it up high. They tried to move it down low, but Cheyenne had just resigned themselves to pack it in tight.
Riders back up ice quickly. Cullen Ross from the high slot. Fitzpatrick stops that and covers for the whistle. 10 seconds left of the power play, and the Riders will get an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, I still think the play here is to just bring it up top and try to get something through. Hoganson had one, he hit the pipe. Hultberg had one that, like you said, Fitzpatrick just punched out, which I think he picked up really late. He just threw a blocker out there late. But
they've rung 2 pipes in the period. 30 shots on goal for Red River. 28 saves for Fitzpatrick tonight. Puck in the far corner. Loose puck picked up by Breno. Breno tries to wrap around. Loose puck out in front. No one can find it. A flail at it, down on a knee. It comes back to the high slot, picked up out in the high slot, and sent back in by Brody Lucier, and then a shot by Breno that gets blocked. Newberg comes out to pick it up in the corner. He gets turned aside. Puck gets picked off to the point. Svoboda is able to hold it in. Turns it back into the corner looking for Breno. A long look to get to the puck again for Blaze Newbert through a Cheyenne body. Alexandrovich will turn it off the far wall. Riders can't hold the zone. They're off. And West Fargo Cheyenne with Alexandrovich will play it in the neutral zone, and that's the end of the power play. And a clearing play that hits a rafter. So the power play comes to an end with the Riders hitting a pipe. The Riders have done that twice in the period and still down 2 goals at 4-2 on the All-True scoreboard.
yeah, a ton of good looks on that power play, but Fitzpatrick in pipes.
Yeah.
Story of that 2 minutes.
Yeah, the Iron is a pretty good goaltender, especially when you hit it flush. Thor Seeger will take a draw against Bennett Benson. This has the opportunity to melt down. Seeger hits Benson right off the draw, sends him packing, and the puck will go loose into the West Fargo, rather the Red River zone. Riders try to carry it up into the neutral zone. Seeger got it up, taking a look off towards the right, able to find Chase Kulka. Kulka tried to turn it back to the point, picked off, and Benson comes up the ice 2-on-2 with Wyatt Matson. The Riders pick that off. Loose puck, a poke at it that time by Kyler Beadall. A backup by Benson to pick up a loose puck for the Mustangs, and it will be dumped back into the West Fargo Cheyenne zone. Beadall trying to run it down. Instead, it ends back up with Yistabo on the far side. His play through the slot, picked up by, actually through the neutral zone, picked up by Cullen Ross. Beadall makes a pass to Hoganson. Hoganson tries to charge in. He gets turned around along the wall. Tries to step through a body, lost the puck in the process, then we pitched back into the neutral zone. Back to get it, Brody Lucier for Red River. He comes back to Cale Gruenberg, sidesteps 2 defenders. Gruenberg looking sharp, leaves one off for Hoganson on the left side boards. He'll charge into the corner. Hoganson wraps off to the right, comes back to the point. Hultberg into traffic, but wide. Loose puck back to Lucier. He waves at a puck that's deflected out by Yistabo and into the net. We'll draw coming up in the Cheyenne zone.
Got an update for you. Central looks like they won this one in overtime.
A crash to the net for for Grand Forks Central.
Spicer in on it, so that was a 4-point night for him. He was in on everything.
It's a 2-point night for Central. They win in overtime 4-3. Fargo Davies dashed of an opportunity there. Here, 11 minutes to play in this one. Cheyenne has taken advantage of their opportunities tonight. So Central's picked up a victory this evening, but it comes in overtime over Fargo Davies. And we're finding out that this Eastern Dakota Conference is going to be a fight every single night that we come out on the ice. 4-2 here, Cheyenne with a 2-goal lead over Red River. Cale Gruenberg dumping off the wall. So float back into the net. Alexandrovich back behind his net to pick it up. A touch out the puck on the near side by Brody Lucier. Lucier backing up to get to it. Comes back to the point, fights on for control there. Mustangs break out with it. This is sent back up the ice by Taylor Zander, but will float free. Rather not Zander, but Caleb Adringa. And back out comes Red River with the puck in the neutral zone. It's been carried in by Caden Ulmer. He got a step. Ulmer tries to push it in. Fitzpatrick kicks to the side. Ulmer didn't get the shot away cleanly. Loose puck taken by Lucier. His shot gets blocked. Ulmer picks it up right side. One-timer by Rost, and he scores. Cullen Ross dials up a tremendous one-time shot for Grand Forks Red River, and the Riders are back within one by a score of 4-3.
Yeah, and we had a great angle on that. That's another one. I'm not sure if Fitzpatrick saw that, if he was just late, or it was a broken play. We'll watch it again. It just kind of bounces to Ross here.
American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is Ross waiting for it, and it was Ulmer that got him the puck. He just blasts away. There may have been a screen out high.
Yeah, I think Hoganson skated right in front of Fitzpatrick's line of sight. He picked that one up very late, and it was kind of a weird bouncy pass to Ross, but 4-3 nonetheless.
So Cullen Rost will score a big goal to cut the lead to 1, and now a shot on a wrister from Mason Breno up and over everything, and ends up out of play. And we've got a game again. 10 minutes to go in this one. Red River back within 1 and maybe feeling a little extra momentum.
Feeling some momentum, and I think now if you're Cheyenne, right, you kind of in this mode where it's like, hey, we're just going to sell out defensively and run this clock down. Now you might have to change things up a little bit.
Puck off the right side, Stetson Brown, short-sided. Fitzpatrick gave up a rebound, and it was immediately swept out by Wyatt Matson on what was a huge play for West Fargo Cheyenne. Now Cullen Ross trying to chase away from Bennett Benson. Ross stays with it, turned it over on the point in the Red River zone. It works back into the neutral zone. Shot comes in wide on Corinta. Cullen Ross back to pick it up for the Riders. Steps away from pressure, rotates it back out near side. A hit there, jarred the puck loose, and this is flipped up into the air to the far corner. Ross will pick it up again on the right for Red River. A stop and a play out towards the near side. They go looking up the ice for Blaze Newbert. Newbert at center, finding Mason Breno. Breno got turned around but stayed with the puck on the right edge. Stetson Brown pulling away from traffic, trying to retreat back to the point.
There's
Turns
a penalty,
it back down
delayed
the wall.
call, Ryan.
Another call coming up against West Fargo Cheyenne. They'll touch it up, but now the Riders are going to go on the power play. We're going to have a hooking call coming up against the Mustangs.
And
so Red River will go on the man advantage.
Looks like it's on Yestebo too, so one of their few defenders here and one of their top defenders is going to be out for 2 minutes.
7:51 of the period on the penalty against Charlie Yestebo for hooking. And another RBB Electric power play brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online. RBBelectric.com. Caden Ulmer stepping in, trying to take control of the puck. It's into the corner for Cale Gruenberg. Power play for Red River. Cullen Rost coming back to the near side for Hoganson. Hoganson back to Brecken Holtberg, high slot. Now it's Hoganson again. Steps around a defender, lost control of the puck. Avon Bredvik will clean it up and send it back into the Red River end.
Yeah, I think if you're Red River, that's the play right there where you just get it to Hoganson, let him come downhill, but he's got to take that shot, not make that move.
Brecken Holtberg driving up, takes a hit, but sends it back behind the net. Alexandrovich there to cut it off. Gruenberg got a touch of it, and it will go loose back behind the net. Gruenberg again goes back in hard against Oliver Lashovsky. Picked it off, put it out in front for Ulmer. Ulmer couldn't quite gather it up on his charge to the net. And a play off the wall. Holtberg stops it on the point. He'll turn to the right. Ross with some emptiness in front, took a shot, blocked. Ross will get it back off the wall, back to Holtberg, high slot, turning near side Hoganson. Hoganson back off to Brecken Holtberg, into traffic, wide of the net again.
Bredvik's got no stick.
Yeah, Bredvik playing without a twig right now, but
he's
kicks the
kicking
puck
out
back into the neutral zone. He goes 100% Pele and took Red River out of the offensive end. And now Bennett Benson with a pick away. Holtberg goes back to turn him aside. Still 48 seconds left of the power play. Holtberg coming up ice from the high slot, a quick wrister that goes just wide, and Alexandrovich is able to play it back to the point. Holtberg sends it down the wall. Gruenberg sidesteps a defender. Out towards Caden Ulmer, but broken up. Ross with another one-time slash and that one goes wide of the net. And now Bennett Benson trying to race down Brecken Holtberg in the Red River zone with 20 seconds left of the Rider power play. A turnover, huge save, backhanded shot, scores on the rebound. It's Wyatt Matson with a shorty for West Fargo Cheyenne, and the Riders are back down 2 at 5-3.
I think that's Wyatt Matson's first career goal, and a short-handed one at that, but just a great play by Bennett Benson to run down that puck in the corner, throw it up front to a wide open Wyatt Matson. We'll see it. He just follows it up, his own rebound.
There's
here.
Benson getting around Holtberg, and he put it out, and it turned it over, and the initial chance is saved by Corinta, but Matson stays with it, goes in and scores. And Red River's back down 2 by a score of 5-3. Wyatt Matson should get credit for the goal. And there's 18 seconds left of the power play for Red River, but a golden opportunity turns into a shorty for the Mustangs, and the Riders are down 2 with 7 minutes and change left. Back in the defensive end for the Riders, Brody Lucier behind his own net, looking for a breakout. Svoboda off towards the right side, able to find Mason Breno. Breno charging in. Rister Fitzpatrick's got it. Well, the power play's over, but the Riders will get a draw out of it at the end of the power play.
Yeah, Cheyenne's going to take every whistle right there. Like, saw Fitzpatrick to swallow that thing up, take the whistle. They're going to roll changes here.
Should take us to the media stoppage. They haven't called it yet. Yep, there's the buzzer.
There we go.
So we'll go to the media timeout with 7 minutes, 7 seconds left to go. Fourth quarter. Oh, I'm sorry, fourth quarter. What the hell? Third period. I've never said that before in my life. Third period. What was I saying fourth quarter for? Too much basketball earlier this week. We have a timeout for media. It's 5-3. West Fargo Cheyenne by 2 over Grand Forks Red River. We're back with more in a moment. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
Well, one piece of good news for Red River fans that we can give you tonight, we're back to 8 cheerleaders. No, 9. We're back to 9 cheerleaders. We got Miss Ledege back.
That's good. No neck brace. I don't know if there's stitches.
No, we're good. I think we're good all the way around.
Okay. All right.
5-3, Grand Forks Red River trailing West Fargo Cheyenne by 2 on the All-True scoreboard. 7 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the third period. The Riders had a power play back within 1, but ended up giving up a shorthanded goal in the process. And now the Riders down 2 once again. Puck loose far side, picked off by Taylor Zander. Bennett Benson in the center of the ice, off to the right side for Wyatt Matson, and his shot broken up. Goes back behind the net. Holtberg got tripped up on it. Turns it back towards the near side wall. Zander over to pick it up. Back to Benson, short-sided. Loose puck to Zander, high slot. That gets blocked by Holtberg. But Benson's there again to steer it back out to the point. Right side, it's Yestebo. Stepping around a defender, firing short-sided again. That time the stop made by Ryland Corinta. And the puck will rotate back out to center ice. Off to the left, Oliver Laszowski dumps it back down the ice. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to go with the third. Riders still down by 2 at 5-3. Back out of the neutral zone, too strong for Kate Nomer to get to it. Icing is the call. And we're headed back into the Red River zone for a draw. Coverage tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Grand Forks, Devils Lake, where the PS stands for Painless Shopping. You can find their warehouse in the industrial park, right on the other side of the I-29 overpass. On Demers in Grand Forks. Been there before. Clean, great facility, great people. They can help you through that decision on a new garage door. Loose puck taken by Ryland Edmond for Red River. Riders back up to the neutral zone. Edmond widening out towards the right corner. Driving in hard. Left the puck loose towards Fitzpatrick. It was picked off. Played back out towards the right. Cullen Rost is there to send it back in deep. This will rim back towards the near side. And the puck back down towards the near edge, taken up by Breno. Breno had it swiped loose, and back into the neutral zone again.
Boy, Ryan, the amount of energy on the Cheyenne bench down to our left is incredible right now.
Well, they feel like they're on the verge of getting a win over Grand Forks Red River at their house, and that's a big deal for this Mustang program. You know, a team that, you said they got beat the other night? Or did they win the other night?
They beat Davies 4-3.
So you got to win over Davies. Davies takes Central into overtime tonight. You get a win here against Grand Forks Red River. You're Cheyenne thinking about sitting on top of the league, and that's the way that works right now.
Yep.
Riders behind a pass out of the high slot. Works back towards the near side. And back over to pick it up was Caleb Adringa. He'll turn it over. Shot to the right of Fitzpatrick. Will go loose towards the right side boards. Caden Benke trying to drive in. Comes loose back out to the left for Lucier. Brecken Hultberg will toss one down into the slot. Loose out in front, a wave and a miss by a rider. And once again, Lucier trying to wave at a puck and keep it up in the offensive end. It'll bound back into the neutral zone. Hultberg again tossing one off the near side. Now we'll see a whistle behind the play as we've got a piece of gear left on the ice.
Looks like foam from some breezers there.
Has it been that violent tonight? Breezers starting to fall apart?
Yeah. I'd almost guarantee it's from 34s. Where's Bennett at? He's probably...
Well, his line's back on the ice. So he's on the ice right now.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, we're at 4:40. The clock is no longer Red River's friend. It's now a problem.
I don't think it's been their friend the entire night.
True.
I mean, honestly, it has not been their friend at all this evening. Cheyenne has never trailed in the game. 5-3, Cheyenne leading by 2 over Red River. Puck off the right side, Hoganson getting a step. He's coming up the ice with Gruenberg off the right side. Hoganson a backhander in on Fitzpatrick. He picks up his own loose puck, does Hoganson a blast
save.
out into traffic. Hoganson steps in again to pick up the rebounded puck, and a backhander goes just wide. Caden Ulmer in the corner being chased around, puts it back behind the net. Gruenberg out for Hoganson, good pass, couldn't find it. Cullen Ross steps away from a defender, down to the doorstep trying to find Hoganson. Too strong for Hoganson, and we'll see Taylor Zander turn it back to the neutral zone. Icing against the Mustangs, and we're inside of 4 minutes to go.
Great play by Cullen Ross. He just pulls it around a Cheyenne defender and looks back door, and he just missed Hoganson backside.
I think Cullen Ross has skated really well tonight.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Second period on, Cullen Ross has been a really solid performer tonight for Red River.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But the Riders have they've been a little out of position tonight at times. I mean, just the sink hasn't been quite there, right? Ross to one-timer, wide. Puck will come back near side. It's picked up on the point by Rylan Edmond. He turns it back into the corner. Played back to the point. Ross again, wrister, deflected up and over the bar. That one touched up in front of the net, I believe, by Breno. Yeah, that was Mason Breno that got a piece on it right in front of the net. That could have been a dangerous tip.
Yeah, that could have been. Actually, you know what? If that doesn't hit his stick, that might be tracking in the back of the net.
Yeah. Of course, it was designed to put it in the back of the net as it was, right? So we'll draw it to the left of goaltender Cruz Fitzpatrick, just a sophomore. Save percentage of 90.5 coming into this one tonight.
Half Canadian, Ryan.
Can you be half Canadian? Puck back out to Benson. We'll talk about that tonight. I don't know if you can be, I mean, Canadians are just like Americans. They're all from Europe, right?
Dual citizen. That's what I mean.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying there. Okay. That's a legal status, not necessarily a heritage type of display. Puck loose, Hoganson trying to battle off against Gistavo. Just to go back into the corner, and Cullen Ross picks it up. Comes back to the right side. Edmond trying to hold on to it. It's turned over. One of the few times tonight that puck has been in front of Red River's net. Cullen Ross coming up the ice. Taking a look to his left. Going to take a short-sided opportunity. Maybe trying to find Ulmer. It was behind him. Brecken Hultberg will steer it down towards Ulmer. This goes loose in front of the net, but immediately Bennett Benson's there to pick it off. And this is a Cheyenne team that's pretty schooled in defensive hockey. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes, and we're down to 2:50 to play, third period.
Yeah, they know exactly how to play this game, and they're doing it. It's just blue line to red line and in.
Oh, huge hit right side. And that's not going to net a penalty somehow. Svoboda gets away with maybe going a little high, and then Svoboda gets hit from behind. And here comes Red River back into the offensive end. Now Svoboda takes a hit there. And let's see what this call is going to be. Or did they call a penalty on Red River?
No, this will be on Cheyenne for tripping.
All right, so a penalty going up against the Mustangs. So we'll see what Red River can do on the man advantage with 2:28 to play third period. We'll see if the Riders take their time out here.
Yeah, I would assume they're going to take their time out.
Take their time out and give a blow. Yeah, they're going to take their time out, and then they're going to send maybe top line back on the ice, I would expect.
Well, you got to think now. I mean, are they going to pull the goalie here?
Down 2 with 2:28 to go.
I mean, you go 5-on-4, or do you just take the 6-on-4 and maximize it? I mean, this was the argument that I had on Twitter after the UND game. This is almost the exact same situation. I say you go 6-on-4.
You know, and here's the thing when we're talking about this timeout, by the way, brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region, and brought to you as well by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. The advantage of context is huge, right? Because we've been here and we've seen how it's played out, right? Under normal circumstances, you're Red River, you've had all kinds of opportunities. You can produce one more in the power play. Let's play it straight up. The way this game is played out tonight, Sheyenne makes no mistakes in the defensive end. They haven't made mistakes all night long. You may need that 6-on-4. This might be the opportunity where I'd agree with you. Maybe you go 6-on-4 with 2:28 to go.
Yeah, part of me says, well, you know, Cheyenne's going to put 4 guys in front of the net. So if you're Red River and you add a 6th guy, now there's a lot of bodies in front of the net. But the other side of it is on every loose puck. Now, if you're Red River, you can just send 4 guys. And so you can retrieve every loose puck and theoretically not have it cleared. So, I mean, there's some pros and cons here. And the net's empty, so that's what they're doing.
That's what they're going to do. So Tim Scarperud agrees with us. The Riders will go 6-on-4 with 2:28 to go third period, down by 2 at 5-3. Griffin Hoganson will bring the first line out, and he'll be joined by Mason Breno on that lineup. So down 2 goals, power play, 6-on-4 hockey. Brecken Hultberg to Breno, looking left corner, finding Caden Ulmer. Ulmer will step away from traffic, tries to exploit the high slot. Shot got through but missed wide. Cullen Rost will turn it back behind the net. Breno's there, turning it back to Rost. Power play brought to you by RBB Electric. 1:40 left of the power play clock. Hoganson back to Hultberg. Hultberg off the right side. Cullen Rost cross-ice pass, and Hoganson shot blocked by guess who? Bennett Benson.
Yeah, he's had a game in every aspect. Obviously the scoreboard, but just plays like that, the defensive side of the physicality, he's been barking at any rider that he can get his hands on.
I don't think Cale Gruenberg's going to send him a Christmas card this year.
No, they're not talking. Starting tonight.
Well, they're talking. But
after tonight, I should say.
And a puck cleared, drifting towards the empty net, and it's a goal. West Fargo Cheyenne will take a 6-3 lead, and that is ball game for the Mustangs. They're going to grab the victory and all 3 points in this one tonight. It would appear the goal goes to Oliver Lashovsky.
Boy, he curled that one in. That one looked like it wasn't going in, and as closer it got, it just kept with the English. And yeah, you said it. I mean, what a game by Fargo Cheyenne tonight. Did exactly what they needed to do. And they're going to win this one 6-3. Well, they're going to win this one.
Yeah, goalie back in the net now for Grand Forks Red River. The power play continues for the Rough Riders. Caden Ulmer getting free and turns a backhander wide of the net. Puck will go loose to the boards and played back up the ice, wide of the net for icing.
Oh, they blew it.
Yeah, they blew the play dead, but that's because they forgot that West Fargo Cheyenne was on penalty kill since they had scored a moment ago. So rather than give up the draw to the offensive zone for Red River, they'll bring it back out to center ice. All right, we'll draw again at center with 1:45 to go. And we'll see another draw. One thing that Red River's done really well, they've won a lot of draws tonight.
They did. They kind of did it. Like you said, they won shot battle, they won face-off battle, they won zone time battle. They just didn't win the scoreboard.
That's right.
Which really is the only thing that matters, Ryan.
Cullen Rost, Griffin Hoganson, Hultberg, back to Rost in the right circle. Comes back to Hultberg on the point. Hoganson looking into traffic, fires. That one, did that bounce off another pipe?
No, that hit Yestebo, who's got the puck right now.
I couldn't tell what knocked it down. Oh, the net's empty again, and Yestebo scores again. I didn't see that Red River had pulled the goalie a second time, and Yestebo will score an empty net goal to make it 7-3. And it's another shorty. That'll be the third shorthanded goal of the period for West Fargo Cheyenne.
By the way, that's a well-earned goal by Yismo. He wore that puck. It was a shot from the point. He stood there. I mean, when you got guys blocking shots up 3 with a minute left,
They bought in.
They've bought in.
Yep.
And so he earned that one, and he just takes it. He's hurt now. He's grabbing his midsection.
Goalie comes back into the net again for the Rough Riders. Yeah, this all of a sudden turns kind of into a butt kicking that isn't really that. You know what I mean? I mean,
it's a weird game.
It really is. Yep. It's one of those things where there were a couple of bounces that favored Sheyenne early, but give West Fargo Sheyenne all the credit in the world for playing defense the way they did tonight. From the opening face-off, they came in and played Mustang hockey. Physical, fast, in your face, and it paid off for them tonight. It really did. I mean, it's about as picture-perfect a game as you could play. Red River scored 2 on the power play tonight. Cullen Ross did a really good one-timer, even strength, but 2 power play goals out of the 3. 32 stops for your goaltender, Cruz Fitzpatrick. And this is going to upset the apple cart a little bit in the EDC standings by the time it comes to an end tonight.
This is going to upset the apple cart. You nailed it.
So Grafton's got a win over North. Sheyenne will have a win over Davies and Red River.
So they'll be on top with, Central. They'll be tied with Central for first.
Central goes to overtime with Davies.
No, because
tonight.
they only got 2.
Yeah, so Central will have 5. Cheyenne will have 6 points. Yep. And they'll take over first place, as I don't believe North was playing tonight. Puck goes wide of the net with 10 seconds left to go. Post-game report is on the way. We'll take a look at a couple of the highlights that we have for the third period tonight in our post-game report. Post-game report we brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. And brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop. Ski and Bike Shop, getting you moving throughout the course of the year. Ready for every season at the Ski and Bike Shop. And we're going to see another draw coming up in the West Fargo Cheyenne zone. 7-3 Mustangs over Red River. They'll draw it to the left of Cruz Fitzpatrick. And the puck goes into the corner. It'll be picked up there, and the cheering begins already for the Mustangs on the bench as they start the stick taps. And they're acting like they just won a state championship. And I'm not saying that it's the equivalent of a state championship, but coming to Grand Forks and winning is rare, and beating Red River is rare. And Sheyenne did both tonight. And right now, there is no reason to believe that this Mustang team isn't to be considered among the best that the Eastern Dakota Conference has to offer tonight.
Yeah, we talked about some of the things they do well. I mean, they got a line that really clicked tonight, and they all chipped in. They're good defensively. They play a defensive style, and they got a goalie, Ryan, who can steal your hockey games.
Yes.
And if you have a couple of those ingredients, you're a problem every single night.
Absolutely. So the Mustangs win it tonight. They'll be 2-0 in the region, 6 points. They'll take over first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight. The Riders will drop to 1-1 in the region. They'll have 3 points in holding after their win over West Fargo. And it was an eventful night tonight that we'll talk about in our post-game report. For those of you that are with us, stay with us, because highlights from the third period are on the way in just a couple of moments as we take you to our post-game report. And our post-game report tonight is brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, and also brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage. So hang on, we've got the post-game report. We'll start with the post-game highlights on the way here in just a couple of moments. You won't want to miss those. We'll come back with that in a moment. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. And we're back with more in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
This is the KNOX post-game show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and 4-Inch Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports as we make our way to our postgame report this evening. West Fargo Cheyenne celebrating a big victory tonight. The Mustangs have defeated the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders tonight, and they're being greeted by a healthy section of fans that have come up for the matchup tonight, and they're being greeted well. Final score this evening, 7-3, as West Fargo Cheyenne takes over first place in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Our post-game report brought to you by Spring Advantage. Everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. The difference between Spring Advantage and their competitors is that Spring Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders, and 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. And brought to you tonight by the Ski and Bike Shop, ready to get you moving all throughout every season. You saw their messages tonight. Get fitted for those boots. They'll do a great job of fitting you up for those. Snowboards, skis, and of course, you can get out on the trails with a fat tire bike from Trek Ski and Bike Shop, bringing you our post-game report this evening. Well, Rhino, this is one of those that, we're going to talk about here for a while, aren't we? I mean, one of those things where you come into the Eastern Dakota Conference season, you kind of have a bead on what this thing looks like, or at least you think you do. And through the first sample size, about a week or so, Central has a close shave with Devil's Lake over there. Goes to overtime tonight with Fargo Davies. Red River, after playing their most complete game of the year with a 7-0 win on Tuesday, comes here and really has a hard time dealing with the way that Cheyenne plays. And Cheyenne's taken their game to 2 different opponents in the East region, and right now, they look like they could be standing near at or on top of the Eastern Dakota Conference.
So basically you're saying this whole EDC season is just an absolute coin flip.
It got messed up after the first week. So you know what, folks? It's December 4th, okay? You got a long way before we get to the EDC tournament. Get ready for 10 weeks of nightmarish hockey scenarios, right?
Where you just don't know what's going to happen on a nightly basis.
Well, I think what we found out is that there certainly aren't any perfect teams right now in the Eastern Dakota Conference.
There are not.
This one could have been a lot different. Red River doesn't hit a couple of pipes. Those shots go in, that type of thing. This score looks a lot different than it does. And that's not an excuse, not at all. It's just that you're going to have to play that way every single night. Tonight, Cheyenne got bounces and great play, and it turned into a 4-goal win.
Yeah, there's just kind of what you said. There's just no freebies or very little freebies in the region. So every one of these games you're going to have to execute. You're going to have to play your best. And if you don't, you're going to end up on the wrong side of a 7-3 game.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be in overtime like across town with Central, where they probably weren't as sharp as they wanted to be tonight. And the Davies team maybe punched them in the mouth a little bit and took them to overtime. And I think that's what we're just going to get on a more often than not, based on what we've seen here in the first 10 days or 2 weeks of the East Region schedule.
Yeah, and there's one result that we don't have tonight, and that's Grafton on the road at West Fargo. If Grafton went on the road and won that game tonight, now they've got 5 points in the conference
tied
as
for
well,
second
or
with
4.
Central.
That's after the first week of the conference season. Hey, you know what? This could end up being a really, really fun season of high school hockey.
It could be, and I'll tell you what. I mean, just kind of based on how, like, go back to what we're talking about. This is a game. This game that we saw tonight. This is one that I can almost guarantee you, when the last couple games of the seasons are being played and the standings are starting to take shape, that we look back to this December game like,
yep,
wow, that was a big one.
Yeah, and that point that Central didn't get tonight over at Purper, that might matter too, right?
100%.
There's a lot of things here tonight. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights that we have from the third period tonight, where we thought we were getting this thing relatively back to where it needed to be at one point anyway. Sorry, folks, we're having some problems getting off camera tonight, so let's just go ahead and do that. There we go. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights that we had from that final period of hockey tonight. And there was one moment where Grand Forks Red River felt like, okay, they're closing in. They were down by a score of 4-2. They come into the third period, and this is the moment. Cullen Ross just waiting and dialing up a picture-perfect one-timer and blasted one past Cruz Fitzpatrick. That came with 10:08 left of the third, and so you feel like, okay, Red River's got time, but this was in the Red River zone. Red River 20 seconds left play. Power play. A turnover, huge save, backhanded shot scores on the rebound. It's Wyatt Matson. The second one was not stopped by Corinta. And we'll take a look at our scoring summary when they bring those numbers up to us. But it was that second effort, Matson scoring his first goal of the season tonight. And it came on that effort, shorthanded for West Fargo Cheyenne. that was the ultimate clinching goal. They scored 2 empty net goals that were both shorthanded after. But in the long run, Grand Forks Red River had given up kind of a 5-3 margin at that point. It was going to be tough to come back. And final score in this one was 7-3. But that goal by Matson, sticking with it, was the difference of either rebuilding a 2-goal lead or facing a situation where Red River can come downhill and try to tie the game.
Yeah, that was a huge goal, and like you said, kind of put things away. And it was just kind of indicative of the game where it's just, when Red River needed to make a play, in this case defensively, they didn't. When West Fargo Cheyenne needed to make a play, in this case offensively, they made it.
How many block shots did Cheyenne have tonight?
100 of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the categories that Cheyenne won are categories that are tough to score tonight outside of the scoreboard, right? I mean, shots are 35-19 Red River, but block shots, clogged up zones or clogged up slots, although, I mean, those things that matter. It just seemed like there wasn't a lot of openings for Red River to work through.
There wasn't, and there's just a couple of things that just kind of sum this game up. And as we watch Cheyenne skate off the ice to thunderous applause from the JV team.
Absolutely.
And from parents, when you saw Yestibo block that shot with a minute left when the game was already in hand.
Yep.
And go down and score yet another empty net goal. I mean, you saw a West Fargo team that just wanted to win this game probably more than this Red River team did.
And that's something that, I think both Grand Forks teams are going to have to really embrace. You're going to get the best game from everybody. Is it the last 2 state championship games that have been Central versus Red River?
Yep.
Okay.
And then
you're going to get
Red River before that.
Yeah, you're going to get everybody's best game. Every single time you play in the East region, you're going to get everybody's best game. So probably time to, I guess, really embrace the role of the hunted at this point.
Yeah. But again, I like what Cheyenne did tonight, and I like the way they bought in, and you could feel that the energy from their bench was incredible down the stretch.
Let's take a look at our scoring summary with Who Lit the Lamp tonight, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter at Bergstrom Electric. Well, in that third period, Cullen Rost with assists from Brody Lucier and Griffin Hoganson cut the game to 1 at 4-3. But then Wyatt Matson's goal shorthanded with an assist from Bennett Benson. And then Benson would assist an empty net goal shorthanded from Oliver Lashovsky. Benson's all over the scoreboard tonight. Charlie Yistabo with an empty netter as well. That made it 7-3 final score in the period that we had tonight. As far as the final numbers in this one are concerned this evening, Grand Forks Red River, no multi-point nights, rather one. Caden Ulmer, a goal and an assist tonight. 2 rather. Griffin Hoganson had 2 assists this evening as well. A goal for Breckenholberg, a goal for Cullen Rost, and an assist for Brody Lucier for Grand Forks Red River tonight. Those would be the numbers. So again, 2 points for Caden Ulmer on a goal and an assist. Griffin Hoganson, 2 assists tonight for the multi-point nights for Grand Forks Red River. For West Fargo Cheyenne tonight, you'll see the Mustangs with a 4-point night, or rather, no, that's a penalty mark. My mistake on that one. A 5-point night for Bennett Benson. He ends up with 5 assists in tonight's matchup. 5 assists. Aiden Bredvik with 2 goals this evening. A goal and an assist for Oliver Lashovsky. A goal for Wyatt Matson. A goal for Charlie Yistabo. A goal and an assist for Mikhail Alexandrovich this evening. So a few multi-point nights, but Bennett Benson 5 points this evening and 2 goals for Aiden Bredvik. And those would be the highlights tonight. And that is your scoring summary with Who Lit the Lamp, and it's brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Well, one final piece of business to take care of before we wrap up tonight. Those will be our 3 stars of the game and the finest cover of the game this evening and our final awards that we have to hand out tonight. So without further ado, we'll get to that coming up in a moment, and then we'll wrap things up for the night and get ready for basketball coming up tomorrow night. So do stay with us. Your final in this one is 7-3. Grand Forks Red River beaten by West Fargo Cheyenne. Post-game report continues next on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Brought to you in our post-game report tonight by Spring Advantage and the Ski and Bike Shop. We're back to wrap it up next.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace,
change of routine, or a change of scenery. We'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
This is the KNOX postgame show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Grand Forks Red River beaten tonight by West Fargo Cheyenne by a score of 7-3. Our post-game report brought to you this evening by Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm, and by the Ski and Bike Shop, getting you moving all throughout every season of the year. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz, and again, Cooper Frigie has had our video coverage tonight as the Riders are beaten by a score of 7-3 this evening by West Fargo Cheyenne. Well, let's go into our post-game awards that we have for you tonight. And our post-game awards are led off by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service, and that's what you'll find at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devils Lake. When it comes to perfect service, they can service every make and model of garage door they sell. They can service yours as well. And if it's time to increase the capacity that you need for your storage units, if you have new implements on your farm, they'll widen the door frame and then install the right garage door. It's a great number of pieces of service that you'll find at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR. 3 stars the game tonight. Well, I mean, it's going to be a heavily one-sided West Fargo Cheyenne affair tonight just because you have to kind of call it the way you see it here this evening, right? And Red River scored 2 goals on the power play, only 1 on even strength. So our 3rd star tonight for Red River, Cullen Ross, who dialed up just a perfect one-timer, and I thought at times in the 2nd and 3rd period was really skating well and showing off what he can do.
He felt like the guy for Red River who was like, hey, we need to get something going, and I'm going to be the guy to do it. And I think we kind of saw that against East Grand Forks too. When they were down, he got the goal to make it 4-1, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna do something to kind of get us back in the game. So I liked his performance tonight. I love the goal. It was a great shot, really good shot.
Yeah. And then he did some
night.
things later after that too, commanding some time and space and that type of thing.
He was physical tonight. He always is.
Yep.
He had a good night.
So Cullen Ross, our 3rd star, but the final 2 stars are going to go to Cheyenne, rather West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. A guy who maybe pales a little bit because of some of the offensive power that they have up front and on their blue line. But Avon Bredvik, pair of goals tonight, and at times when the second line was on the ice tonight, they played well because Avon Bredvik played well tonight.
Yeah, he's a crafty little player. He's gritty as heck. He's not very big, but he doesn't care if you're 5'6" or 6'5". He's going to be in your face. He does things defensively. He'll block shots. He does all of it. By the way, 4 goals, no assists, going for the Cy Young early in the season, 4-0. But he had a big game tonight. He had that second one, the second goal, where it was just a second effort goal. I love that goal. We'll go Bredvik for 2.
And number 1, Bennett Benson. 5 assists. Yeah, he took a couple penalties tonight, okay? But 5 assists is the emotional leader for this West Fargo Cheyenne Mustang team. You can clearly see it, that he does that. But on top of that, playmaking, 5 assists tonight. He's around every loose puck. He digs up everything that's loose. He makes the play. He's an offensive player that will step back and do all the things that you want out of a forward in your own zone as well.
Plus the amount of ice time he logged tonight was insane. He was out there every other shift. The longest stretch he went without stepping on the ice was when he was in the penalty box. But if he was available, he was out there every other 40 seconds. And like you said, he just does everything. He hit everything that moved. He's going to take 2 penalties a game. That's just what he does. But it's all part of it, right? I'm getting text messages as this game's going on like, hey, that 34. And I'm like, yeah,
he's a real deal.
That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Absolutely. And you know what? Let's throw out an honorable mention tonight as well. I thought both Griffin Hoganson and Cale Gruenberg skated well for Grand Forks Red River tonight. Gruenberg, 2nd, 3rd period, rejoined that first line in the 3rd when they had to load up for some additional offense. He got hit by a post again. It seems like every time we see him, he's snake bit. And Griffin Hoganson commanded a lot of puck time tonight for Red River as well. He really quarterbacked a lot of plays well.
Yeah, he did. He's just one of those guys where he gets the puck and you just can't get it away from him. You just got to figure out. Some nights he's hot and he gets 3, and some nights he gets nothing. But he had some great looks tonight, Ryan. Some really good looks.
3 stars the game tonight. Cullen Ross, 3rd star. second star Avon Bredvik, and first star Bennett Benson for West Fargo Sheyenne. Our next award is our Finest Auto Trim Finest Cover of the Game, and it's brought to you tonight by Finest Auto Trim, where their motto is big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializing in recovering vehicle and boat seats. If you've got seats in your implements as well that have been worn down by the latest harvest season, get them ready before planting starts again. Get them to Finest Auto Trim. Get those recovered and get the support back into those seats. It's the great way to go about putting things back together in the place where you're going to do a lot of work. And now with the elements upon us, they can create custom covers to cover up AC units, power generators, or things like boats that you're going to store outside. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Cruz Fitzpatrick, 32 saves tonight. Now, got some help from the iron. Couple of bounces here or there, we might be looking elsewhere, right? But tonight he made some very impressive stops as well at times, and so can't ignore the opportunity from Cruz Fitzpatrick tonight.
Yeah, the pipes, all of it kind of works itself out in the wash, right? That's just how hockey goes. The other thing, besides the saves, was just the stick work and the puck work. I mean, clearing pucks out of the zone, it was a problem for Red River. It's a problem for any team that plays a kid. If you throw it to him, especially shorthanded, he's going to get that puck if he can, and he's going to throw it out of the zone, and that play's dead, and you got to reset again. But the stick work, I mean, moving it to his defenders, he just does everything really, really well, and he was just really solid back there. When that lead got to 2, it's like you're not getting 2 at this point on him.
Yeah, so a great night for Cruz Fitzpatrick. He'll pick up the Finest Auto Trim, Finest Cover of the Game that we have for you tonight. Final award that we have tonight will be our Points Against Hunger that we have for you tonight, and that's brought to you by Northland Community and Technical College, where you can start that liberal arts degree that is so very valuable at Northland Community and Technical College, and start it for less right here in your own backyard in East Grand Forks. We've partnered with Northland Community and Technical College to fight hunger in our region in the manner that our teams score goals, baskets, touchdowns, all the things that go on. Tonight it's Goals Against Hunger, and tonight Grand Forks Red River logs 3 on the board, so that means $3 will be donated by Northland Community and Technical College to the Pioneer Food Pantry in West Fargo. I'm sorry, Pioneer Food Pantry in East Grand Forks to fight hunger in our region. Northland Community and Technical College bringing you our Goals Against Hunger tonight. And again, find out more about how to start that degree in your own backyard at Northland Community and Technical College. Well, that brings our coverage of North Dakota hockey to a close this week. But on Saturday, the Green Wave are in action against Cloquet. Saturday afternoon matchup over at Civic Center Arena. And tomorrow it's the start of the basketball season. Red River Mandan, a doubleheader that'll take place across the way at Red River High School. 5:30 is the tip for the girls, 7:30 for the boys. And you'll be able to catch that right here on KNOX Live Sports. And, you know, something, if I remember right, Rhino, we got a pretty big affair coming up on Tuesday night next week, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that Central Red River in the Gambucci Cup Series?
I didn't even realize that was already on us. Someone said it in our locker room last night. Next Tuesday is for Central River. And I'm like, oh, my God. I didn't even realize it was happening. So.
And now, after these results tonight, you're going to have a couple of really hungry teams trying to figure out who they are going into that matchup on Tuesday night. There's going to be a little extra drama in that one this time around.
Yeah, literally no idea what to expect out of that game anymore.
Not now.
Not now.
Join us for that coming up on Tuesday night. We'll, of course, have it for you here on KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio. We want to thank Cooper Freegee for his videography work here tonight. Rhino, thank you for being here again.
Absolutely.
Let's see what this season holds in store for us after tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Your final score this evening, West Fargo Cheyenne 7, Red River 3. That's going to do it for our coverage of high school hockey tonight. For those of you on the radio side on Rock 95, we'll send you back to regular programming. Video side, we'll see you again tomorrow on KNOX Live Sports. So long, everybody.